Hello, one and all, to another exciting adventure from brought to you by the Adventurer's Guide to Dungeoneering. I am your humble dungeon master. You can call me Sully, and I'll be running the game this time with our cast of wonderful adventurers. You may remember some of our old intrepid heroes, but what you may not know is that this time around we've got a couple of newer faces. So as is tradition, say hi, intrepid heroes.
Hi, Intrepid
Hi,
Heroes!
Intrepid Heroes. Hi, Intrepid Heroes.
Everyone,
Oh,
it's been a while.
it's been quite a long time.
Actually, let me go ahead and turn myself down a little bit. There we go. It's been a while since we had one of these, and with work and the virus, and in preparation, like building a PC and stuff. But we are back. How's everybody doing this time?
Ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, this is a brand new campaign that we talked about called The Unsleeping City, written by the ever so talented minds over at Dimension 20. So I'm going to go ahead and start by bringing us on in to this world of mysticism and wonder. For those of you at home, this land of myth and legend, of myth and magic might seem eerily familiar to some of you, as it is a cold, snowy day, a blustery wind of snow and chill, cold, crisp, clear skies over what I can only say is the best fucking skyline of any city that ever is or ever fucking will be. It's New York City, baby. To some people, it is a city of dreams or the Big Apple, and to others, they know it as simply the city that never sleeps. Snow flurries from the sky as the wind kicks up. We see gusts of freezing air blow past the Chrysler Building. Down through the streets, we hear the sounds of honking cabs, pedestrians scream, "Hey, I'm walking it!" And just looking absolutely miserable, these pedestrians who are crowding into tunnels and subways in a giant pack. And all of a sudden, their winter coats trapping them in boxes of just heat and body odor, stuffing them together on their morning commute. Down through the tunnels, a blast of laundry, the smell of laundry mixed with hot garbage and just the sweet smells of hot nut stands and hot dog stands. A distant siren rings in the city somewhere somewhere a place that we can't see. And we go through this hellish wasteland of Times Square, up following snow again over the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, through neighborhoods where families tuck their little bundled infants into strollers and walk down lanes of trees. Back through other neighborhoods where, the little corner stores sell hot bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches in the morning to the commuters. Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, the best thing you ever fucking ate. It's anywhere but, like $2.50, $2.25. We follow those winds, and it's like a mid-December morning in New York City, a city where so many people dream of coming and making their life for themselves. And it's always felt a little bit maybe that just like around the corner, there might be a little bit of magic. We follow another whisk of snow all the way down up through central Manhattan, where nothing but lights, camera, action. The theater district. Gorgeous buildings trimmed with bright signs calling for the next big show. Spotlights now set to off, pointing towards the sky to show all the New Yorkers where you might just be spending your evenings. And we arrive at the bustling neighborhood where is still an area of bars and partying. We see a soul building that rests connected to a wonderful diner called in bright, eye-attracting letters, The Confetti Club. In the front, we can see through the windows these plush leather seats, so polished that you can almost smell that polish through the glass. But it isn't the elaborate meals or the insane amount of money people are spending on coffee that we're interested, because deep in the back, past the service window, past the racks and racks of freshly baked bread, a lone freezer hides a secret door that delves deep beneath the bowels of this little slice of heaven. Down where we find two men in white t-shirts and overalls, one sweeping up dust from a large piece of cement that's in a circular shape in the center of a dirt floor, and the other wiping up the blood from a likely not super accredited boxing ring. Where we meet our first character, Charlie Mays, who has just finished an incredibly long night of bobbing and weaving, gets ready to greet the day. Aspen, if you could be so kind as to describe your character, please.
Sure, absolutely. Charlie Mays wearing but a humble green tank top, usually green being her favorite color. Some raggedy sweats, beat up old shoes she got from her dad a long time ago. A couple different bandages among her, considering her occupation nonetheless. She's, you know, not white.
Heard.
But no, she's, I kind of imagine her Polynesian in a sense, but she is definitely, like, dreaded and has some crazy features.
Alright, awesome. So, Charlie, you've just finished again, an incredibly long night, you know, just gruesome, bloody, bone-crunching, jaw-smashing, bare-knuckle boxing. You go in at night, as per usual, and by the time all the matches are done, if you're not fully just knocked outright unconscious, you leave confettis, like, in the broad daylight. You know what I mean? So, it's, you know, when you do leave, it's like a light blindness almost. However, usually you're a pretty safe bet in the gambling pools, as like you have a very respectable record, and on that record it consists of never taking a loss. That wasn't until recently. For some reason, like, your head just hasn't been in it. Like, you just haven't been doing super well. You know, you still get paid, win or lose, but when you lose, you know, the people that bet on you also lose a ton of money. But this marks your fourth loss in a row. You know, so as per routine, you exit out of the little hidden freezer. You see that the bodyguard sitting next to the freezer on, like, a stool that's way too small for him. His name is Quinn. He's like a bouncer who just kind of sits there, making sure everybody who should be in is in. And he kind of just doesn't really pay you any mind. You know, he's this giant fucking Eastern European dude, square jaw, wide shoulders. He's reading this, like, little tiny book. It's almost like a little pocket notebook, sitting on the stool.
As I walk past him, I just kind of look at him and be like, "Hello, Johnny been around bugging you today?"
He looks toward, like, he seems like he doesn't want to give you his full attention, kind of just like, look, small talk isn't his thing, right? He looks at you, just goes right back into the book.
Completely unaware of his, like ill interest. She's like, "That's crazy. You know, I was pretty sure he was gonna come today. You know, I mean, he comes every Tuesday. What? You know, I mean, you know." She's, like, really trying to strike up a conversation.
Give me a persuasion check.
Where are my dice? Here we go. That'd be a natty 20, baby.
Oof. You see that he puts his book down. By the way, I'll say give me a perception check with advantage, please. Just because you rolled a natural 20. Just go ahead and give me a perception for me real quick.
Isn't that what I just did?
You did a persuasion.
Oh.
Start the night.
You roll it with advantage.
Perception. 14.
14. So first off, the book he's reading isn't a note. It's not like a notebook. It's an actual book. He's just that big. The book he's reading is P.S. I Love You. And you see that he was pretty invested in the book. So you bringing up Johnny that he should be there every Tuesday. He for the first time fully closes the book, takes a look around the back room, and he goes, Johnny wasn't down there.
I mean, not that I've seen. Not that I was up and at him most of the time, but you know, as it goes.
Huh. He puts the book in a little suit pocket on his blazer, stands up, and fully walks toward out the back door. You seem to have brought something up that for him to not know who's in the confetti club is a big deal. That's his only job.
She just kind of stands there and she's like, alrighty, bye.
Yeah, so, here at Confetti's, pretty much everything is in this establishment, and by that, I mean the underground activities, of course, is more or less running smoothly, but, I say more or less running smoothly, because you see that as he walks out, after a few moments, you see that he walks in, walking in, talking to, it looks like a kind of small group of ladies and gentlemen who are just dressed head to fucking toe in incredibly expensive formal wear. I'm talking suits, blazers, vests, beautiful pinstriped pinstriped suits, shoes, ties, bow ties, giant hats, boas, jewelry. Just these are wealthy people. You recognize immediately one of the women. Her name is Isabella Infierno. She is kind of in charge of this club, the boxing scene, not the scene, but the boxing thing that brings in revenue here at Confetti's. That's her. She runs that, right? And you see that with her, the guy that Quinn is talking to, who is getting an absolute earful with her, is the bookie, and his name is Pinky. This tall, scrawny white guy who is missing some of his teeth. He flew in from London maybe a couple of months ago to take over the betting pools. And you see that has this fat wad of cash that's not in a rubber band. It's fresh cash that he must have just taken from people that he's just fully has whatever. You see that Isabella sees you, kind of just sees you, has this dirty, nasty look on her face of disapproval, turns to Pinky, says something to him, walks out. You see that as she walks out, she lightly taps on Pinky, who turns and sees you in turn. And you see that he starts to thumb out a couple of bills from that money. And you see he walks in and he goes, Charlie, baby, it's good to see you. Good fight in there, I suppose. Yeah. And you see that he counts out a bunch, recedes 2 bills. So he counts out maybe 8 bills, puts 2 of them back in the thing, gives you 6 bills.
Pinky, we've always been pals. Yeah, pals. Look, I know I didn't do so good this fight, but is there any chance I can get an advance? I mean, you could take it straight out my next pay.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and roll. I'll say go ahead and roll. You can roll me a persuasion here.
Persuasion, 17, 18, 19, 20. Dirty.
Jesus.
Dirty 20.
We're on a roll today, boys.
Now we.
You're on a roll today. You see that he goes.
Hey, save some luck for the rest of us.
You see that he turns it's like a swinging door, right? That Isabella leads out, and you hear the heavy-duty door to the actual back of the building, not just like the back of the restaurant, close, and he goes, all right, look, why don't you take a walk with me? Take a walk. You see that he turns around, and he starts to, like, not follow her, per se, like, wherever she's going, she's kind of, like, way ahead of you and probably has fully left by now. She's one of those people that has, like, a car waiting for them outside, so she's, like, you actually, like, in fact, you hear the car, like, squeal off, and he says, yeah, all right, but, look, here's the deal, yeah? Boss says, you know, she's not too happy with, how you been jabbing in there, yeah? I ain't too happy about it at all. She says she doesn't know, you know, she says she doesn't know where that hunger goes, you know? Where's it gone?
Pink, I don't... Look, man, I've just got a lot on my plate, you know?
Yeah, I know. She's like... All we want to see is wherever that hunger comes, wherever that want, you know, for fucking dusting all the devils we got going on in there, you know? And she says, you only lose the fights, yeah? That she says you lose the fights. So, what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of clients waiting, you know, wanting to put up.
Pinky, believe you me, it will not happen again. I can give you my word I'll give you my word.
Right about that. We're not letting you go, but here's the thing. You do have a fight coming up, right? And it's a big, like, good news for you, right? Because there's an opportunity for you and for us to make a whole lot of dosh, yeah? Problem is that your next fight, you're going up against the digger, yeah?
Pinky!
Hey, look, you don't need to fight the guy, at least not fully, you know, at least not all out. Boss says, you know, given your record, right, you go down in the 5th or the 6th, give up a good fight, go down in the 5th or the 6th. You know, couple of people gonna lose some money, couple of, you know, of our regulars, but the ones that bet against you will make a whole lot of dosh, and they're the ones who we're really trying to go after. I promise you'll get a nice bonus, and you know, and as a show of good faith, you see he shuffles out maybe like 4 more bills, so you go from making $600 to a whole stack that day, for that night. And he goes, and you see that he kind of gives it like ways. It goes, yeah, look, as a show of good faith, yeah, you know, I know you're not a big fan of throwing fights, but how did I say it in the cinema, yeah? Business is business.
That it is, Pinky. And she, like, hesitantly grabs the wad, takes it, puts it in her pocket.
Okay. Here's where things are gonna get interesting. Roll me another perception check, please.
14 again.
Okay. So despite the interior of Confetti's being, like, plump, lavish, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous, this back alley, horrifically disgusting. It's so, like, garbage bags everywhere. Obviously, you know, you've just got, like I said, obviously you've just got bags and bags of trash back here, but it's like the better half of, like, 6 or 7 hours down in that pit, like, from being down in that pit, that you kind of, like, have developed this kind of, like, migraine, whether it's from taking, like, hits, or just, like, the sun, all of a sudden, you just have this, like, throbbing migraine, you know, and you, oh, you're right, yeah, let's, I forgot that this is a thing that we decided to do here. Good call. go ahead and show some of. We can show some of our PCs. This whole new technology. Yeah. So you see that while you're back there, you look up and the news that Pinky just gave you isn't so much as it is like heartbreaking. It's flat out annoying. You know what I mean? You don't want somebody to tell you that you have to do poorly at what you're good at, right? You look up and you're just being incredibly just annoyed by Pinky telling you to throw the fight, which again, you've never done. But there's this abnormally loud dripping sound, like being in a quiet room with like a faucet dripping. It is like every time it hits, it's like a boom, like just ringing in your head. And I mean, like I said, it's a nice building, but you look over to see one of the dumpsters that's completely like water ridden because of the snow melting in it. And it's got this fresh melt, like I said, it's got this fresh melting snow in it, which is dripping, but it's dripping up. It's dripping, it's going out of the roof of, like, out of the lid and going up towards the sky.
She immediately, like, looks at it, rubs her eyes, she's like, what the
Sure enough, sorry, go ahead.
She, like, looks around.
You see Pinky is still, like, talking to you, almost like the world has kind of, like, begun to mute itself out around you. It is just the sound of this water. And you see, like, you hear, like, at one, he's like, yeah, and eventually it's very much like Peanuts, Peanuts' parents at one point. Just like, you know, I know you're not a big fan of... and it is just going up, hitting the gutter. Some of it, like, slides off and thus disappears into the sky. But sure enough, water is going up.
Her eyes fully lock on the water. And, like, as Pinky's talking, she's just like, yeah, and walks off towards the water.
Yeah, you start to walk towards, and the first step you take, you get this, like, it's getting incrementally louder. Just boom, 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 boom. You take a step, siren hits your ears as you go and cup your ears. And it is just this loud ringing sound that pierces your ears. They just, if the sound that was muffled is fully drowned out at this point. You see that the puddle slowly starts to form at the edge of the gutter now. You kind of pull your eyes back down, look, let's see that there's this little New York public health poster on the wall that says, like, the city safety code for putting the dumpster out, you know, and the garbage disposal. With this image of a guy in, like, the New York reflectors jacket, like, reflectors vest. The reflection sanitation worker at the landfill on that poster turns to you and just goes, well, hiya, Charlie.
Immediately, she's kind of just like, what like, covering her ears, kind of, like, stumbling backwards.
You fully hear, like, the voice just goes, like, huh, headache, huh? I know how that's going.
And she's, like, hitting her head. She's like, what the fuck? Wake up! No idea what's going on.
Charlie, so that's going on. I have to ask you a question. What did you think, what's on Charlie's mind, if anything, about throwing the fight? Is this something that you would do or wouldn't do?
I mean, Charlie has a very, like, distinct moral code of her own, and doing something like that feels dishonorable, but because of what she kind of has to go through and what she has to, like, take care of, she knows she needs the money, so she would probably go through with it just so she could make that bank, because she desperately needs that money.
Okay. You sit there and everything kind of begins to spin. Whether that's like literally it's spinning, or it's like a sense of, like, vertigo and dizziness, the world almost is, like, spinning and hazy around you, and everything starts to kind of fall away. And then you hear Pinky kind of cut through again, who goes, all right, yeah, you look, and, like, I know it's hard for you, but you just think that, you know, all that money you'll be stuffing in your trousers with, yeah? The sound suddenly rushes back to you like a loud siren that rapidly builds and builds until it's a full banshee's wail filling your skull again. And you clasp your ears with your hands as you let out a painful scream, and just before you can you literally tear your own ears off, you find that you have fully backed into the out of the alley into the street, and you bump into someone. You hear a voice that just goes, "Hey, watch it, asshole!"
I'm sorry.
You turn around and see that a full-on 2 trash cans with eyeballs sticking out of the lids that are talking with the lid flaps are staring at you. You see the one goes, "Hey, what's your fucking problem? I was standing here minding my own fucking business. What are you, some kind of piece of shit?" You hear, "Oh, what's that? Is this fucking guy giving you a problem, huh? What's up, dude?" You say, "I don't fucking know. I'm just, you trying to start some fucking trouble, asshole?"
You don't even have legs.
Hey, oh, what? Cause I'm a fucking trash can? I can't have fucking legs?
She immediately starts sprinting.
You start running down the street. You hear, "Hey, we weren't already outside." I'd say, "Hey, you want to go fucking outside?" As you fully run off. And so he's screaming that. He goes, "Oh, because I'm a fucking trash can." You take off down the street where you see that the yearly clusterfuck that is SantaCon, where a bunch of college kids are dressing up as Santa Claus and go on this crazy fucking pub crawl in New York City, making it virtually unlivable for the day, has already begun. You're bumping into people as you run, as the world is completely disorienting. Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
This is not gonna be good. 6.
Jesus! There's the luck. You are running. The only thing you can essentially think of while the world spins is put one foot in front of the other. It's been boiled down to just literal basic instinct of how you run. You look down while you run, and you see that you're running through a little area of snow that is almost melting as you run. So essentially it's melting in front of you and carving you a path. And again, you look down, you see that, and everything else but you has a reflection in the puddles and stuff that are along the ground. And it's that exact second that you notice that you fully slip off the curb, fall into a puddle, and all of a sudden you are standing on the other side of that puddle, in a snow-covered New York, where the snow is issuing out, is just fully, flowing out of storm drains, not into, but out of storm drains, in the street, flying high up into the sky that is full of just an endless sky of stars, as it is now night here.
It's night?
You see that the moon that is that is in the sky turns, and you see that there's this beautiful woman's face on the moon. Incredible eyeshadow, full lips, turns to you and goes, "Holy shit, it's you." You see that the skies are starting to glow brightly, like giant bright light bulbs that seem to glow. The moon projects this giant moonbeam onto you, collides with the ground at your feet, and it is fully blown into this footholdless darkness, where you see an endless dreamscape of New York City stretching, fully elongating around you, being in a cage that is growing in verticality around you. A unicorn gallops past you,
What?
flying, and this unicorn is sparkling, is a sparkling mythical beast, but you can tell it also has glitter on itself. You see that it goes, "Oh my god, what are you doing here?" As it flies past you, you eyes go wide, take a second, just slap the shit out of yourself to try and bring yourself back to it, and you see that you again are still falling. The quote unquote hallucination doesn't go away. You are falling. This insane looking owl, pigeon, monkey, angel thing flies towards you. Looks like this huge 8-foot tall thing, by the way. It's massive. Looks at you with this pair of wings on its back. Its face, an owl's face, looks at you and just goes, "She's here! She's here! She's here! She's here!" Flies over to you, grabs you as you're falling, gives you this awful, peck kiss with its beak. You land, and you are, again, plummeting, and you land on the ground. You land, again, on the asphalt street of this blackened city. You expect a heavy thud. You expect to hit the ground hard because you can see the ground approaching terminal velocity. but it's very, like, oddly bouncy soft. You hit it and, like, it kind of cushions your blow. Almost like right before you hit the ground, you stopped completely and then hit the ground very softly. You hear a colossal rending, like a tearing of fabric, like a colossal-sized fabric. And the entire darkness above you splits above you, revealing, like, silvery stars and white clouds that pour through. And you can feel things screaming with joy as they are just flowing inwards. And they begin to escape from whatever realm this is. You suddenly feel yourself being drawn into this deeper, deeper darkness, like standing at the edge of a hallway that suddenly grows and elongates and grows, like, longer. And then you hear another voice. This breathing, almost like as if almost like somebody breathing into a microphone. This menacing breathing, a single point of golden light, ding, takes over the entire sky. Everything else falls away, and it's just this single thing of golden light begins to burn brightly with intensity, incredible intensity, as if staring at the sun. You start to feel your actual body, yourself, break into a full sweat, as you are just pouring out of your pores, your heart rate picking up. The voice speaks, "Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I have to. I must." Fire. The sound of fire burning from around you. A rectangle of golden light opens, as if like a long elongated doorway opens, against this inky blackness of a sky, and whatever it is forever beyond it, before you, and it is just burning, singeing your eyes. The voice again, "I want to be a part of it." And then silence. A silence takes over the entirety of what is around you. And a little gray face just kind of ushers in from the dark. Almost like just as if stepping out of the darkness, very Batman.
Ah, what the fuck?
It is a gray child's face. It is like a baby's face. Like full on, like black eyes, black tears streaming down its face. And it just looks at you and it goes, "It's happening. I'm sorry. Heed the words of Lazarus before it's too late." And before you can even usher out another phrase, the head suddenly just disappears, and a cacophony of screams and giggles and wails rush back into you like a heavy wind, as if being hit by a literal sound wave. And you are suddenly staring up out in the broad daylight, back in, like, the New York you know, in an alleyway, on your back. And while you're standing there, you see, like, a figure approaches from, like, above you, so you have to, like, kind of, like, look up. And it is just, like, one of the SantaCon people who is staring at you.
Immediately, she's like, "Who the fuck spiked me with acid?"
The SantaCon person turns to you, looks at you, like, with a weird look. You see half of its face fully melts, like, into liquid and begins to bubble and, like, burble. And the voice just goes, like, "Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho!" Opens its jaw, like, the top of half of its head breaks backwards, revealing this giant maw of peppermint jagged teeth, and it fully bites you onto your neck and clavicle. All right, let's move on to our next PC.
What the fuck?
We head from the glitz and the glamour of the theater district into a bit more of drab, which is still an area, again, still the area of partying and bars and drinking and stuff. But here there's, like, like a rooftop place that, has, been shuttered up for the winter, or a few of those, like, tenacious places that have insane heating lamps, so people can, still be on the rooftop bar in mid-December, excuse me. And we go very, very close to the water. Down by the water, there is this little dingy, dingy little doctor's office there. This doctor's office has some boarded up windows and is just straight up hidden out of the sight of the general public. It is not even like it. If you looked up like a phone book, it probably won't be listed as a doctor's office. Let's be real. It's kind of on the corner. It's like kind of in the corner like of a warehouse, like way down by the water, and the snow settles on a windowsill. And in a dingy little medical office, we can see our friend Diego. Ed, if you could go ahead and describe your character for the group, please.
All right. Diego just he looks like he's like a normal dude. Uh, he's Hispanic, so he's kind of brown. He has like this like just like a bundle of like just tangled hair in his head, just put up to a ponytail. Like eye bags, like he hasn't slept in a week. Has like a Probably has like a cup of coffee in his hand. Uh, just extremely tired look, but he seems to be enjoying what he's doing. He likes working with the magical, and he carries this notebook with him that with a bunch of like scribbles on it.
Awesome, awesome. Diego, you are standing near the interior front door of this building. That's essentially just like the front room, and then there's like the back room, with like just like this dingy little dentist chair and some pretty like but pretty like high tech medical equipment scattered around this room, just like ready for use. You see that there's like dish sinks, not like regular hand sinks, like sinks where like a restaurant would do their dishes in, like full deep dish sinks.
Like a three compartment.
Yeah, you see that there's little bowls and little like containers that are holding just scalpels and forceps and just like liquid that may or may not be sanitizing. Who knows? That like the liquid is just a very like watered down crimson. You see that the door opens and this older guy walks in. He's like an older gentleman who is in what like maybe looks like his like late 60s, early 70s. Getting to that level of old where his eyes don't open anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's like squinting all the time. Balding guy. He's in like coffee colored slacks with like a lighter warm tan colored polo. Very thick mustache. Just like an average older neighborhood guy. And he walks in and he goes, yeah, how's it going? I'm here to see the doc.
Hold on, give me 1 second. What's your name?
He goes, I'm actually, he looks like to his left, looks to his right, kind of leans in towards you. Like, there's like a moment where he leans in, and like, this guy's like weird. Like, knowing what you know, Diego, and knowing what, like, you do, right? When a normal dude walks in, this is weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he leans in, and there's like a moment where you kind of like lean back a little bit. He goes, I'm actually a regular here, so probably got a file somewhere.
Sure. I'm gonna like look at I imagine it's like a little list of like appointments maybe by the day.
So it's there's no appointment list, but there is like a small like milk carton that has a bunch of like manila folders in it.
Yeah.
And one of them is like marked, like almost like bookmarked with like a red little plastic bit. The name on the file is Lowell Masters.
All right, Mr. Masters. Let me just get you all set up. Let me go let the doc know you're here.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. And hey, I appreciate what you're doing.
Right back at you, buddy.
As you head in, he's kind of like taking a seat and like he's talking at you, right? Not talking with you, he's like talking at you as you head into the back because you can see the back room from the front. Like there's no door or anything. It's just it's literally separated by a hole in the wall, not a literal hole, but like a giant, massive, what was like once a double doorway. The doors are gone. It's just the doorway, so he can see into that other room. And you go, man, oh man. He says, man, oh man, and not a lot of people can, stomach this kind of stuff, especially with me. But good for you, buddy.
All right, man. Just give me 1 second, all right?
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Not all day, but you know what I'm saying. Diego, do you wish to peek at Lowell's file at all? Or do you go straight to the doctor?
I'm gonna like flip through it while I'm going to the doctor.
Okay. I will tell you this. You can make a medicine check if you'd like. I'm gonna tell you what's in the folder, like, basically, right? Because the files that are in here are not, like, there are x-rays in here, but it'll be determined if you can, like, read them properly. It's more like very, very basic notes, like, as of what's in here, but nothing like that will tell you specifically why this guy keeps coming here. So if you want to try and make a medicine, you can. Otherwise, I'll just give you some super basic information.
Sure. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Jesus Christ! Get him out now. Get him out now.
Stop using them.
The
Come on,
file.
guys, chill.
With a nat 20, I will tell you the other check that you actually missed earlier, but it's not a big deal. Lowell Masters, now that you're looking at the file, kind of like, I know the name, but like I don't really know, whatever. Like looking at the name and looking at the file, you can kind of put two and two together. He is a regular here. You know that Lowell like has a little biography in here, little like set of notes that Lugosh has put in here. Lowell Masters is a artifacts, like a magical artifacts collector, and he likes to how do I say this? He likes to use them in means of like pleasure. And with your natural 20 medicine, you see that there are x-rays in here from his previous visits, and they're all pretty much like copy and paste x-rays that show that the two bones that are labeled in there are both of his femurs and the pelvis and some unidentified object.
Oh god. I regret looking at this file. I feel dirty inside. Like magical has been such a wincy, beautiful thing, and now this guy just ruined it.
Wonderful natural 20.
I know.
So speaking of Dr. Lugosh, you head to the back, and there's just like these plastic flaps that are hanging from the ceiling that you can see a shadow of a person back there who comes out, and sure enough, it opens, and Dr. Lugosh Przmitsky walks in. Dr. Lugosh is he's this very kind but super intimidating looking guy. He is this massive, almost hunchback kind of guy, broad shoulders, and these huge hairy arms that kind of go down a little bit longer. Like imagine he looks like okay, so imagine he's got like gorilla arms almost, right? Like gorilla grade strangling arms kind of. Mm-hmm. He's got a bunch of tattoos of like weird dragons and shit wrapped around his arms. He's got like Cyrillic lettering in them. You see that he's got a tight white short-sleeved dress shirt on with a black tie. No doctor's coat. He's got a big square jaw with a nose that's got like busted up from probably like fights or something. Salt and pepper hair, kind of in a flop, but these extremely thick-rimmed black glasses. So he's got like super tiny eyes that are like because they're like super magnified into his head. Like he looks super goofy. And you see that he goes He goes, did I hear the bell? Who has come? You see, he sees, like, Lowell sitting in the waiting room, and he goes, ugh, you have got to be kidding me.
Yep.
He goes, yeah, you see Lowell goes, hey, it was an accident this time. And he goes, You know, of all the medical procedures I do here, I like this one least.
You gonna need help with this one, Doc?
What? Okay. Diego. Help. Do I need help? Do you know what is the problem this time?
Uh, Mr. Lowell, what happened this time?
Oh, huh. Well, you know, so this is a hey, like patient doctor confidentiality, right? And he goes, yes, confidence, something, yes. He goes, well, good. It's a regular thing, I just I found this, looked like some kind of bronze statue of a falcon or an eagle or something like that, right? And I
Oh
thought
God.
I would pawn it, right? I thought I would pawn it for a little bit of money. Yeah? Nothing what
Yeah.
you're thinking. But what I needed to do is like I needed to varnish it, right? So, get some of the rust off. So I put some varnish on it, and then what happened was I was getting ready for a shower. So I was naked, of course. Yeah, you understand, right? He goes, yes, I understand.
Yeah.
And right before I take a shower, I like to have a little bowl of cereal, get the Wheaties in, right? Just something I like to do, all right? Don't judge me. So, so there's this step ladder, right? Because the cereal's on the top shelf. There's a step ladder to get up there. Long story short, I fell up the ladder. I fell off the ladder, and the statue is stuck.
All right. So you have a bronze eagle statue up up there. Oh,
Yeah.
Doc, this might be a difficult one.
You see that the doctor cracks a grin, looks at you, and goes, "Do you still wish to help?"
You want some coffee? I'm gonna get you some coffee.
He goes, "That may be a good idea." Diego, I have just noticed. Are you feeling all right? Your your test results do not indicate that this is a true statement.
My test results.
Ah, yes. While you when you come, I like to take samples of you while you work. It is just to make sure that you are not being chipped by the government or being some sort of spy with a wire.
Doc, I appreciate your you caring about that, but just can you tell me next time you do this, like
Ah,
you need me to
you,
pee in a cup, like you know what I do, like you
would you
know
be
me.
willing to pee in a cup?
Hey, but you know what you're gonna
He
find.
fully pulls a cup, like a full like urine sample cup, out of his pocket. Here you go.
All right, I'm I'll I'll bring this back.
Ah, okay. And Diego, when have you last slept? Again, your test results are not very good.
I think I slept like maybe a couple hours last night. Like I was up until like 6 in the morning, like just reading through my notebook.
Huh.
I mean, is it bad? Is it something bad?
Well, does Alejandro know that you stay up with this late work?
Hey, Alejandro, he's teaching me, but I gotta do some self study.
Interesting. Well, I am looking here, and I guess I will start with the small stuff. Your vitamin levels are not great. Uh, what have you been eating?
Uh, you know, you know, hot pockets. Like I found this piece of sausage on the floor the other day.
You ate
I
sausage off
mean,
the floor,
yeah, dude, it was like so good. It
Diego.
was fucking great, man.
I'm going to level with you now. As
Yeah,
you know,
what's up?
uh, most of what I do here is I pull the bullets out of gangsters of the city that have been shot. Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
But as a friend, and probably your closest medical professional, you should get some sleep. Uh, you are a fresh wizard in this new world of dangerous magics. You you must give your mind time to heal, as you would with a gunshot. Also because it's going to be a crazy day for you with Senticon and stuff like that, and 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 let's make an agreement here. Let's not eat any sausages off the floor. Yes?
Fine, fine. No more floor sausage. But I mean, that this brings me to my next topic. You think would it be possible to get just tiny little bit of a raise? I mean, I need groceries. You want me to eat better?
Yes. I wish for you to eat better. At least get the good hot pockets. Hot pockets of like all themselves are just not the very not a very good food. The fact that you have to throw it in the microwave for so long with like the cardboard and the plastic, it makes all of the nutrient levels not very benefiting for your body. At least try like I don't know macaroni and cheese or something.
That I respect you, so I won't argue against that. But I'm a conscientious objector. All right.
Uh, right. Listen, do yourself a favor and take care of yourself. And before you leave, go pee in cup. I may not have time when you come back, so please, I need it when it is fresh.
All right, all right. I'm gonna just go off to the bathroom and just do the thing.
This is your character introduction, by the way. um, you see that during your time, because it's weird. There's not like doors here. Lugash's establishment is very open, so that he can make sure like people aren't stealing from him, or he's got like pills and stuff in here, so he's making sure people like don't steal drugs or money or stuff like that from him. And by the time you get back from peeing, Lugash has fully removed the eagle from Lowell.
Hey,
Like
Lau,
it's
how you doing there, man?
you see that he doesn't say anything. He just kind of like whimpers because like he's just like fully you can because Lugash isn't super gentle, right? So he's just kind of like laying there recuperating still. Um so yeah, you see that Lugash finishes up with Lowell. He gives him a bottle of what can only be described as probably painkillers, with no label, of course. And he begins to walk him to the front door. You see that as he walks to the front door, he grabs like his winter's trench coat off the wall. Are you following that all? You did say you wanted to like leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the dog to to walk him out and be like, you need anything else from me? Like, am I good for the day?
Uh, Diego, I appreciate your proactiveness, your go getter. But uh, again, you should take care of yourself like you would with any other organ in your body. Um, but hey, what are you going to do? So listen, one of my clients has just gotten into a very violent accident that involving a car compactor. So I need to go and make a house call. Diego, be safe. As Lo opens the door, it is almost like kicked in the opposite way. With like how much force is opened it. You see two men in black suits and a woman in a long black dress force their way in, fully push Lo out of the way. One of the men is smoking a cigarette, looks at Lo with a real nasty look. You see that he goes, "Hey, beat it." Lugash starts to take his arm back out of the sleeve of his coat as the third man enters, again in this clean suit and what looks to be like some super bloodied up bandages around his hands that are just super. You're not a medical professional, but you've been around Lugash enough to know that Lugash also may not be a medical professional in the sense that he might not have like a degree or something, but he knows what he's doing. These wrappings are fucking awful. They're not good. They look like they were there to kind of staunch the bleeding, as opposed to like put pressure on it for the most part. Yeah, his knuckles are tore the fuck up.
Do I recognize any of these people?
You do not actually.
All right, I'm gonna. Hey,
You see that
I think you're.
like Give me an insight check, please.
Sure. Give me 1 second. No, they're not 20.
Jesus. You don't seem to know them, but they seem like Lugosh and them seem to know each other, right? So either they've been here before when you weren't, or everybody just knows Lugosh as like the doctor that's not like gonna ask any questions. You see that Lugosh like has fully like recognized that he's not going to be able to leave. He's not gonna be able to head out for his house call. So he puts his coat back on the coat rack. He and the other 3 people walk into and the other 4 people walk into the room. Do you want to stay with Lugosh at all? Do you trust him? Do you trust them with him?
No, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay and help him out with the whatever procedure he has to do.
Okay, awesome. So you go ahead and you're just kind of sitting in like in a chair in the corner of the room, just kind of like waiting for him to call you over for whatever he needs you to do. It's super tense in this room, in this moment, with everybody in the room. It's so tense that when Lugosh pulls out this pretty like gnarly looking suture kit, like in like the needle, which is like if you've ever seen a suture kit, the hook is the needle is hooked. It's a hooked needle. One of the guys with the cigarette pulls out the butt end of his pistol out of his jacket, and he goes, "Hey, no funny business, Lugosh." You see that Lugosh goes, "There are no guns allowed in this operating room." He points to a legitimate sign that's kind of like on like haphazardly taped to the wall that says "No guns in the OR."
Hey,
he looks.
buddy, you mind putting out the cig for me? Which I appreciate it, but like, no smoking in here.
You see that he goes, "What? Is there no smoking around in here too?" And then Lugosh points to the other side of the room where there's also a sign tape that says "No smoking in the OR." And you see that he begins to like go to work on this guy's hands, or should I say, Jack? Would you like to describe your character, please?
So, Jack is currently, Smoke is currently sitting there, just not really reacting to whatever's happening. He's just looking around, like, nice place. He is a 6 foot tall, tan skin, very, very tan skin male with what looks to be a large scar around his mouth and with a balding head and what looks to be, if you couldn't tell, has really weird looking eyes, like really pale, like purplish eyes.
You see that Lugosh looks down at you and he goes, "If you would be so kind, please do not move. If you have a very severe laceration across your knuckles, and if you move, I may slip with this needle and make it significantly worse." So Smoke, you've got a few real bad bloody lacerations across your knuckles. One of your knuckles is actually just broken. But it's like the same, like that's business. It happens when you gotta, take care of business. Sometimes it happens. And Lugosh starts to go to work on your hands, and giving you some stitching. You see that he starts to stitch. He starts stitching, like sets your knuckle back, and he goes, "I would hate to see the other guy." Do you just remain silent? Jack, you there? Um, either way, you see that Lugosh finishes up the stitches. He gives you a nice, like, wraps you up. Gives you a little bit okay.
Sorry about that. My
Cool. It's all good. I was just saying that Lugosh finishes up your stitches, resets your hands, gives it, like, wraps it up actually, like, nice and well, gives him a little pat. He opens up a tiny drawer at one of the end, like, it's like one of those filing cabinets for, like, a tailor for, like, small needles and threads and stuff. And he grabs maybe like 5 or 6 unlabeled pills from it, puts it in an unmarked pill bottle, and we're starting to see a pattern with Dr. Lugosh, aren't we? You see that Lugosh looks at you and goes, 5 pills, 5 days. No alcohol is recommended, but in Ukraine, Horilko turns boys into men. So, give the Don my regards, yes?
Yeah. Good job, Lugosh. Before we go, you got any, like, threads? So I need to take a look at this. And he touches his jaw.
Ah, yes. I have it around here somewhere. You see that he pulls out what looks to be a thing of thread, like this, like, it's like, it doesn't look like regular thread. It looks like the thread is, like, imbued with something. And he goes, it is probably best for you to do it yourself. I am not familiar with your, species.
Yeah, it's an accident. Don't worry about it. Just turn around. It might get a little bit messy, alright?
Hey, that is the job, isn't it? And he, like, motions to the floor where it's, like, covered in, like, tarps for painting and stuff, like clear painting tarps that are just soaked fully with blood. Like, just, it looks like a full murder scene on the floor. The walls, great. The floor, not so much.
Jesus. Smoke makes his way over to what looks like the nearest sink, and he just puts his head over the sink, and that's where you're able to see, like, his jaw essentially unhinges from his mouth, and it's clear to see, like, the lower part of his jaw is like a metal fixture, and as that part clicks off, the smoke, like black smoke, just begins to pour out of his mouth, and he just begins to, this is completely nondescript to him, and he doesn't look like anything. And he begins to, like, tweak something in the jaw, and as he pokes it with the thread, you just hear click, and it pops back into place after the smoke stops. And he goes, "Well, that's more like it."
As your jaw sets, you see that one of the guys that you walked in, he goes, "Hey, Smoke, boss called. He said he wants you to come in before you finish up for the day."
Alright. Let's head out. And he begins to make his over and just gives a salute to Lugosh, picks up one of his briefcase, and picks up, like, a backpack looking thing, slings it over his shoulder. I'll send you a Christmas present, Lugosh.
Ah, yes, I love the dolls that are inside of the dolls, but, like, when you open up the other dolls, there are also dolls inside of the other dolls.
Aren't you from you're supposed to know this.
Hey, listen, time in Ukraine was not spent with dolls and toys. Yes, it was mostly running away from the oppressive government, and then when we got to the New York of City, it was stitching up gangsters and making sure that their arms do not fall off.
Welcome to America.
And you head out of the doctor's office. You see that waiting for you outside of the office is this sleek black Buick, like pimped out, very much like straight out of Pimp My Rides. It's like beautiful, like leather seats and like I said, the plush leather seats. It's got one of those compartments with like the champagne glasses in it. A pelt like interior, like on the carpet kind of deal. And you see that within minutes, the windows are filled with just a passing by city lights as you head off. A variety of signs pass you, you know what I mean? Just like a Krispy Kreme, a comedy club, whatever. And eventually you arrive at a little tiny mom and pop, like hole in the wall pizza place called Anamana Pizza. You and the gang get out of the Buick, head into the front door, and you find yourself like way overdressed for the occasion, mind you. You find yourself in this front, like at the front counter of this with this little window with a little bell at it. And you see that one of the stone ovens is behind it. To its right is like a push door that leads into the back where you can see like some of the other tables and stuff for people who are dining in. You see a guy in this dirty white tank top comes in, stained to hell with pizza sauce and sweat. He's got like a tan apron tied around his waist. He goes, so you got a pickup or a delivery or something, buddy?
Delivery.
He goes, oh, okay. Well, bell's over here. And he like turns 180 to not look at you, crosses his arms, and like he's waiting for something.
I head over to the bell.
Okay. You hit the bell. You see this quick flash of kind of like light that appears in the seams of that swing door, and what remains is the remnants of like the sparkling in the crevices of this threshold. You see that when you open the door, instead of like the tables and things that were there before, what opens is this just massive interior of a luxurious and lavish like mansion interior. Completely furnished, polished wooden like babinga wood, and there's also like actively people polishing and repolishing to maintain the shine. Huge crimson velvet curtains that hang down either side of this giant central staircase, that are just etched with like gold and patterns of like golden patterns and shapes. This place is filled with like servants, and you see that guys are just all over the place in these clean fitted suits. You see some of them aren't like human. One group is just like a well-dressed group of like myconid people, which are like mushroom people. Mm-hmm. One of the human-looking guys breaks from a group as he notices you enter. His name is Lucio. He's like the consigliere to Don Confetti. He goes, Smoke. Hey, it's good to see you. Hey, listen, I'll make this short and sweet. Are you fucking hearing this shit?
Gestures to Knuckles. Been a tiring last couple of hours. What's up?
Right. Hey, like I said, short and sweet. I'm in the dark here too, buddy. So I don't got much, but I guess some shit ain't right, man. And he brings the conversation down to a bit of a whisper, and he starts to kind of like walk with you off to the side. He goes, okay, so, do you remember the deal we have with Santa Claus that we have? Like that like the one that means like we don't do business for a certain amount of time around the holidays, and then that whoever the fucking Santa Claus is, don't fuck with us during any other time of the year while we're doing business. Like that being said,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? Right?
Christmas
Yeah, like
treaty.
yeah, exactly. The fucking like that line of communication, that olive branch we have.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently that line of communication is kaput. Is is in the wind, bro. Abra-fucking-dabra, gone. Just out of the fucking blue.
Wait. So Santa just broke the treaty.
I'm not. Look, I just got back too. You see that he looks at your bandaged hands. He goes, and your hands are all fucked. So, look, if you want, I'll tell the Don to give whatever this is to someone else. If you
No. If Santa's making a move on us, I want to be there for that.
That's why you're my fucking guy, Smoke. So like I said, I really appreciate this. It's not much, but when Santa, when Santa comes into New York, how he starts that ritual and shit, and he usually starts it in Times Square, not Times Square. The fucking.
You just gotta remind Santa who's New York belongs to only a certain group of people.
Exactly. I think I said he was in Time. I think he's in the park or something. I don't know. I hope that helps.
Which fucking park?
The public park, you fuck.
This is New York. There's many public parks.
The New York Public Park.
All right, where's the Don? Like he just like stops the conversation because like starts looking for the Don.
He goes like you. He goes. He's up in the room, but and he like kind of like puts like gently puts his hand on your chest, and he goes, but look, look, I'm on the boat. I'm hoping that fucking we get the ice Santa or something, but we're both in the dark, and I don't know how deep this goes. So maybe keep it on the hush hush for now. Yeah, like.
Yeah, just let the rest of the let the rest of the crews, the squad know if we do get the permission to ice Santa. Take whatever territory and whatever stash we can find before other people move in. The Don would be happy with that. If we get to ice Santa and take his stuff too, that Christmas list, we can actually sell some of that coal too, like some of the shadier companies.
Exactly. You can make that stuff into diamonds, baby. But yeah, Don's upstairs. I'm not sure it's a good idea. He's getting ready for Angela's wedding, so
Oh, when is that?
I think it's like sometime this week, maybe like 2 days from now or something. I don't know. I'm not going, so it's not really my thing.
Yeah. Let's before you head out, double the security on that. If Santa's actually trying some shit and we don't get to ice him, we don't want red weddings over here.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. Hey, like I said, hey, thanks for looking into this, man. I mean, like I said, this shit's crazy. I don't even know. Like, I mean, I always thought Santa was a good guy, like maybe not like,
He's a slave driver. Come on, man.
Like, hey, his business is his business, but when it interferes with our business, that makes it our business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, go take care of your go catch your boat.
Thanks, brother. And he heads out. In that moment, Diego, you get a text on your phone. You see it vibrates a few times. It's a couple of texts from Esther, and she's the other person that is studying under Alejandro. The message says, "Need to meet up ASAP. SantaCon today. Couple of things I want to cover. Could use your help if available."
I'm just gonna text on my way.
All right, so you head out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how does Diego get to the Clinton Hill the Clinton Hill Chantry?
How far away is it from where I am?
It's not super far. Like you could probably it might take you maybe like 20 minutes to walk there.
Yeah, I'll walk there.
Cool. So you will go ahead and you leave Lugosh's clinic after helping him out for the day. It's much later at this point. It's a decent ways to the library, to the Chantry, not super far from here. Like I said, it's maybe about anywhere between like 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on what's in the way. And that uninterrupted peace that you kind of have along your way is absolutely ruined as a glass door narrowly misses your face and is swung open. A group of college kids fall out, stumbling all over each other. Just sloppy day drunks, like 21-year-olds, falling over each other, completely dressed up in, like, terrible Santa costumes. You see, like, he's like, dude, watch where you're going. Hey, where's my hat? Like, I'm Santa Claus.
I'm gonna be like, you watch where you're fucking going, man.
Hey, fuck you, buddy. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Like, just sloppy, gross drunks. But past those messy drunks, inside the bar, it's not very lively, despite it being like kind of late in the day. Like it being like it's really, like I said, it's really late in the day. It like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and in fact, it seems all of the action that was in the bar had just left with those Santas. But we see a bartender tending to a motley crew of people, to people's drinks. There's a group of 2 girls who are commenting on like what's playing on the TV. Three of these guys, like there's like 3 of these like guys in like heavy, almost like fully hooded trench coats, and like 1 guy all by his lonesome at the end of the bar. You see the bartender makes his way over to that guy by himself, and he goes, "Hey buddy, you need another round, or do you like, I don't know, maybe something to read? Or should I say, Sam, you want to go ahead and describe your character for us, please?
Sorry, could not find my unmute button to save my life. But yes, I would love to introduce my character. My character is Henry. He is kind of on the not so sober side of his life right now. He's kind of down in the dumps. Yeah, and he kind of just solves every issue with let's say a drink in hand. Kind of the guy that's like, you don't think I can do that? Hold my beer. Literally. He was in the Navy for his career until he earned a Purple Heart, and kind of where he's at now. Older gent.
All right. Ed, you're hot mocking a little bit, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Something's in the background.
Okay, give me a second.
Yep. You see the bartender is kind of like trying to make small talk with you, Henry. With you being by yourself, you're a regular guy here, and I'd say you're into like your fourth or fifth drink at this point. You sort of kind of drown the guy out, but not because of your own doing, but because you get this chill down your spine. Like, it's winter outside, and it feels like someone may have just, like, opened the door and a rogue wind came in. But you look over, and the door's fully closed. There's this kind of, like, that's weird. Like, one of those kind of moments that passes. But, stranger things have happened. And just as the chill goes away, after maybe, like, 10 or 15 minutes, an absolutely brutal wind sweeps in like the form of like a cacophony of voices, like past you at such a speed that it's almost through you, in a mixture of whispers and screams and voices calling out your name. Can you give me a wisdom save, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you're not gonna believe it. It's a nat 20.
Jesus Christ!
Guys, we're gonna get murdered. We're gonna get murdered.
They're not gonna believe the stream. They're just saying they're rolling 20s.
Hey, I believe you guys. I imagine you're being all like.
That's wild. I was like, I really hope I don't roll one. That's.
So it definitely takes you by surprise, but you see that the bartender was on the moved to the other end of the is trying to make small talk with you from the end, slides you another drink, and it takes you by surprise, but you are completely unaffected by this. You're just kind of just like, yeah, just another Tuesday, I guess. Catch the drink that he slides down to the end of the bar for you with inhuman reaction and accuracy. And you see that James too is caught off by guard. James the bartender is also completely cut off by your sudden jerk and reflex, and he goes, whoa, okay, and here I thought you were over there losing it or something.
What made you think that?
I don't know. I guess I was wrong. You see that the few people that are in the bar, they're all looking around, and the reason I bring up those few people is because you see that the girls that were at the end of the bar, one of them speaks up and she goes, "Hey, can we head outside real quick so I could really use the smoke?" And the other one goes, "Okay, yeah, let's go outside." They get up and they head outside to go smoke for whatever reason, and you see that the couple of guys that were between you and them, those guys in the coats, they've got striped shirts, and one of them has frosted tip spiky hair, a bunch of chains on, gold chains and stuff. One of them is like a chain, but the medallion is like a giant rim of a car. Like it's like a little medallion of a car rim. You see that one looks towards the other ones, gives them like a pretty gnarly grin, like elbows them a little bit, and they get up and start to follow the girls outside.
God damn it. Are the girls already outside?
Yeah, the girls are outside. The doors are currently coming to coming back to close. The guys are on like making their way to the door. Like they have the doors, like they're currently pushing the doors open as we speak.
All right. I'm gonna drink. I'm just gonna chug this. Then I'm gonna stand up. I'm pull out my wallet, throw whatever my tab is, plus a little bit of gratitude. And you said the bartender's name was what? Charlie?
James. The bartender is James.
James. I'll see you around, James. Got some business to take care of.
You see that he looks at you, looks at the money, looks towards the front door, sees those guys walking out. Like the girls are in the window walking around the side of the building, and he kind of like, you see, like, thinks about it and just goes like, light bulb goes off, and he goes, "Whoa, hey man, you're gonna go out there? Like, you're going out there?"
Well, that's how you get home, isn't it?
Yeah. Home. Well, all right. In that case, maybe drinking something else might sober you up, yeah? For your walk home. Keep you focused, you know? And he puts on, like, this giant can of what looks like maybe, like, the equivalent of, like, a Red Bull or something. Just this big-ass can on the table.
Alright, I'll pick it up. Also, is it, like, literally, like, 2021 New York?
Yeah, it's, like, fully modern-day New York.
Alright, cool. Continue.
So you follow them outside. You see the two women who like have hooked around to this little alleyway next near a dumpster on the side of the building. Excuse me. They're just like smoking real quick. They're doing that thing where they're dressed very cute, but it's fucking freezing outside, so they're just shivering and smoking. You see that one of the guys, is just this hulking, like weird. Like, he's got this weird, almost, like, shadowy fire around him. Like, it's very, like, it looks like he, like, you know how, like when a heat source gives off heat, like, right? You can see it kind of, like, reverberating the air, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like, the heat waves. You, like, listen. You swear. Like, you're a little tipsy, right? But, like,
sheets to the wind.
Yeah, you're a little tipsy, but you look over, you swear to God, like you swear, these guys are like 10 feet tall. These guys are like inhuman huge, right? Their skin is like a weird green color, like almost like a weird vegetable kind of color or something. And like you can like swear that heat thing that you're seeing extends from one of them's face around the nose area, and it like goes outwards as if like to reveal that they have like a long nose or something. But yeah, you see these hulking dudes. You see that one of them like walks over to one of the girls, like has fully like put his hand on the wall next to her head, like stop, like so like she like on the side of like the street side, so she can't just like run away. And he goes, "Hey, look, can I bum a cigarette off you? It looks like you and your friend are here all by your lonesome, yeah?" And then you see the other one goes, "Yeah, you want some company, sweetie?" And then you see that the other one, the one who doesn't, like the one with the hand on the wall, takes his other hand and like grabs her, like one of the girls by the waist.
I'm gonna start like I'm gonna like look at this can that the James gave me.
It reads
Is it like a
1,000-hour energy.
1,000 copyright. 1,000 gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna start walking over to him.
You walk over. As you walk into the alleyway, you step on like an old like piece of glass from like a broken bottle. One of the things looks at you, and the guys looks at you and goes, "Hey, you got a fucking problem, guy?" You see he turns and he goes, "You fucking know this guy?" And he goes, "Nah, I don't know this fucking guy. Hey, what's your problem, guy?"
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just heading home. You guys got a cigarette?
They look to each other and they go, "You know, that's probably on us. You know, that cigarette tax is no joke. No, we're just trying to borrow some from these lovely ladies here. Ain't that right? You think maybe we can bum one off of you? What do you think?"
Are you talking to me or the girl?
No, he was talking to you.
Well, how are you gonna bum one off me if I'm asking to bum one off you?
As you speak, he fully steps towards you and fully sneaks you with a heavy right cross. Just wham! Like right on the like an impact that like you feel it and it rings your ears. And you like he fully like it moves you, like your face moves, like you spit on the ground. And he has fully like clocked you for a heavy amount of damage. What does Henry do to this fucking guy? Like, he hits you. When you come back to, that like you're so close and you've made contact with the guy that like shadowy fire goes away, kind of evaporates into the air. You're staring at this guy with this like wart-covered nose. Like, he's 10 feet tall, massive nose, these huge clawed hands, green, almost scaly kind of skin. Like, for all intents and purposes, this is a giant troll.
You hit me real good, because you got me fucked up. I'm gonna like... I don't know. I'm gonna throw this can at his head.
You're throwing the whole energy drink at him?
Yeah.
Give me an attack roll.
Alright. I got a +5. 7.
Your vision is still a little hazy, because that was a heavy hit. You cock the can back, throw it, it flies way wide, and just hits the wall, splashes on the wall. And he goes, "That probably wasn't the best move, buddy." And you see that the other troll fully like comes around and flanks you, and they're just like backing you against the wall.
Alright, well, I mean... Well, guys, I don't know why you guys are looking like that, but... If you want to fight, we'll fight.
I was hoping you would say that, because we want to fucking fight. And you see that the other one, they just start cracking their knuckles, and you see that one of them just goes, "So do be a doll and hold still, would ya?" Like, rears his fist back, and again just swings it. Another BAM! Right across the other side of your face, like putting a nasty bruise next to your eye. The girls take this opportunity to, like they scream, run around into the street. He goes, "Hey, baby, where you going? You see, look what you did, huh?" And they're back, attention's back on you.
Is there anything, I can do to, like, maybe make this up to you guys?
Well, unless you got two smoking hot, unless you got two smoking hot babes, I guess an ass beating will do.
No, I wasn't really thinking that. But hey, at least you're not gobbling those girls up tonight because, God, I wouldn't even think of anything worse than that. Because you look like a frog's ass.
You hear some frogs, motherfucker, like, and as he says that, you're definitely concussed at this point. You feel yourself kind of like your legs are kind of like not shaking. You're definitely stable. You know, you've lived a life that has involved a lot of heavy hits. So like, luckily, this isn't super new to you. It's just a matter of like who can last the longest at this point. However, Diego, you hear just an insane series of just heavy bam and bam, and cracks from the alleyway next to the bar as you pass it, and you see a regular dude being fully attacked by full trolls.
Help.
Help! Are you here, Ed?
Oh shit, my bad. I didn't realize I was muted. I said I'm gonna fireball this motherfucker in the face.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll, please.
Sure.
No.
No.
You're gonna fucking hate me. It's a nat 20.
Jesus. Okay. Jesus Christ. Roll damage.
Okay.
Dude, I swear, I really hope you're not thinking I'm making this up, man. So it's 10 plus 1d10, right?
Correct.
15.
Jesus, 15 damage. Okay. Henry, you're just like, yeah, at least you're not chasing them. A full fireball streaks across the air, hits one of the dudes in the eyes, burns both of his eyes out of his skull. He rears back into the other wall, starts to fall over garbage and little trash cans and shit in the alleyway. He says, ah, 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 ah. He goes, holy shit, Vin, are you okay? And he goes, my fucking eyes, man. Like, it's bad. It's real bad. And you see that the other one, the other troll just goes, oh, you're fucking dead meat, buddy. And he turns and starts to run at you, Diego.
Can I still act, or?
Well, that would have been an action. Henry, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, so I'll actually use my can we just say for all intents and purposes that like my quarterstaff's like one of those like spring ones?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, word. So like I'll spring it out and like since I'm already on the ground, I'll try like wedging it to like trip the troll, I guess.
Hell yeah. Give me an athletics check. Give it to me with advantage.
Alright, fine. What's advantage again?
Roll twice and take the higher one.
Oh, word. I rolled 19, 20, 22.
You pwing, the staff pops out. You fully take this dude right in the back of his leg. He falls. His head smacks off off of the like one of the trash bins, and you see that the glass bottle you stepped on earlier. I'm sorry. He slips on that like slick of a 1,000-hour energy drink that you threw earlier. Slips on it. Bottle goes right through his neck. As he hits the ground. They're fucking gone.
Oh.
Yeah, Pop he has some good moves, man.
What did you do?
Oh fuck. It's magic, but it was an illusion. You're just really dripping right now.
No. The adrenaline got my buzz all kinds of gone. Now,
Oh fuck. Okay.
no,
How
no,
did
no.
these guys look to you?
Like a frog's ass.
Oh, you meant that literally? Okay. Yeah. So, you know what? I got some friends that might help
No, no,
you.
no.
Why don't
No,
you
no,
take a
no,
walk
no.
with me?
You know, it's cool. Honestly, I'm just happy I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go home. Um, thanks for your help.
Hey, man. Let me at least buy you a coffee. Come on. Like, you look pretty fucked up right now. You look kind of concussed. I can't let you go home like that. You know.
Diego, your phone vibrates again. Um, you see that there's another message from Esther that says, "Hey, like very much like improper spacing and punctuation and stuff, as if it was typed in a hurry. That says, "Hey, something's come up, like world changing something. Meetup is changed to the headquarters. If I'm not there, just stay there till I get there."
How far away are the headquarters?
The headquarters is actually closer. It is the public library.
Okay. Um.
While
Look.
he's looking down, I like to slowly start backing away.
Hey, man. Look. What you just saw just might have just changed your whole outlook and everything. So I can't let you go home like this, man. You are pretty fucked up. Those guys
What
got
are
you
you
pretty
saying?
good.
I saw too much? You gonna whack me?
I'm not gonna walk you, man. Come on, you saved your fucking ass.
Well,
Just,
you can whack
just.
me now.
I'm not gonna fucking walk you, man. Chill. Just come with me, all right?
All right.
All right.
I'm,
Cool.
wa- I'm watching you.
Watch all you
So,
want, man. Watch is free. All right. Come on, let's go. And I'm gonna like walk with him to the public library. Stop maybe like a coffee shop on the way and get some coffee for him.
Hell yeah. It's very easy and it's super sus the whole way. Like
on the way
it's
there, I
like
ask him,
go ahead.
"You got a cigarette?"
Yeah, I got you. I'm just gonna hand him a cigarette.
Yeah. So you're smoking and having this coffee, and the two of you. It's like it's a wordless conversation, as it's basically the two of you staring at each other like, he's gonna kill me. No, he's gonna kill me. Uh, and we're on to our next PC.
Wait.
We go all the way off to the southern end of Manhattan, where we come down and there's this little 4-story stone building. Railroad apartments, classic New York apartment buildings. We find a little school building, kind of a low income place for families with kids who want to learn, but might not be able to afford schooling and things like that. Um, it's got a very small kind of like classrooms and lecture areas for different subjects. Math formulas and laminations across the walls. Some anatomical maps of like the human body, and like there's one of a dog and one of a whale. And in another room with the biggest window in the building, it's towards the roof with a massive like telescope that looks past the city into the upper bay, a killer view of the Statue of Liberty of Ellis Island, and to graph everything together is truly a impressive collection of star charts, almost like wallpaper in the room with how many there is. Um, this is the Amateur Astronomers Association. This is a building where kids can go to learn all kinds of different things, and well, who better to teach them about the stars than our next PC? Joe, would you please describe your character for us, please?
Of course. Audio's coming through okay, right?
Beautiful.
All right, perfect. Um, Professor Fischetti is he's a tall Italian man. He's about 6'7", 8". He's real burly looking, but he's not actually strong. He looks like he's got a lot of. He's dressed probably a little too well for a community college, but he takes pride in the fact that he's a teacher. He's got this like really nice his coat's on. it's probably a little too warm for the room, honestly, but he just doesn't want to take it off because it's like, I'm not setting this down in here. I can't dirty it. He's got this tie. He's got these glasses, just nice, orbular little things, circular. His hair, kind of messy. He doesn't really care for it. And he's just finishing up his class. He's probably talking to a few stragglers who had some questions for him after class. But
Yeah.
aside from that,
Sorry, go ahead.
aside from that, he's probably just a little too glued to the window, paying less attention to the kids in the room than he is the sky.
Yeah, and it's like weird because like you haphazardly or like almost like back burner answering some of their questions, and before you know it, it's become another late day for you, Tony. Like the sun has fully gone before you, like when you decide to like consciously take note of the time, it's like, oh, it's night. Like what the hell? Yeah, so you had a class that started late and a class that also ran late. Then you stayed late to get like it's like the other, like I said, answer questions and grade some papers, organize your lessons plan. And by the time, like I said, by the time you look out and like consciously check the time, it's a whole like 10 at night, like way late. If you want to even attempt to catch the M train, you'd have to leave like right now.
Ah, shit. He's gonna just start throwing his papers into his briefcase. Real messy. Probably also has a bag that he just swoops his laptop into and starts booking it for the train.
Yeah. As you run out of your classroom, will you make a perception check, please? What'd you get on that perception? Up. What'd you get? I can't see.
Hello?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. 18 on that perception check.
18. You are sprinting down these empty ass hallways, and you actually end up running past the teacher mailboxes. And your door, the door of yours, has a flag on it that like means that you have like mail in there.
I'm like really in a hurry, so I open it and I probably just grab whatever's in there, but I don't take the time to read it. I just grab it because I really got to catch this train.
For sure. It's like a relatively long, maybe like a foot and a half. Like it's a long, narrow, like a long rectangular box. But yeah, it looks like some sort of package or something. Yeah. So you're heading down the hallways. You see that the AAA building has been closed for a few hours at this point. The lights are out. It's kind of creepy almost. But it's weird though. Like weirder than usual in a pitch black building. Like, and it's just the janitor who's by the door mopping the floor up. The janitor is just still here jamming on his Walkman. He's this light-skinned, like, older teen who's got, like, a real old-school mentality. His name is Miles. And he's not a teacher. Like I said, he's the janitor. He's not a teacher. But he does like to help out when, around the neighborhood when he can. And also he needed a job. So, 2 for 1. You head down the main hallway of the academy, past a bunch of pictures on the wall of outreach programs and events that were held. And different pictures that show like there's like an event where you guys went to like a field, and it was like your assignment is to find like as many star constellations as you can. And you get to the straight hall of the main foyer, the one with the front door at it basically, and you can see that it is just eerie and quiet. Then how do I explain this? Like in some kind of horror movie, The doors fully explode out, open, and a very harsh snowy wind blows in, and the wind is just banging the doors off the walls. It kicks up the carpet, rattles the frames on the walls, leaves the chilling like a chilling white coating all along the walls. So the entire interior is just almost frostbitten. And you look, and even though what's happening is just this wild cold wind of insane that should be numbingly cold, it's just not. This snow doesn't have any of the characteristics that it should. It's soft, but not like, in a harsh wind, it's almost like it almost hurts. It's very soft and almost almost unnoticeable. It's not cold per se. There's no like breath when you breathe. It is just it's like strange at most. And then suddenly, as the wind of the is coalescing around the walls, they start to form like a that then turn into voices, children's voices. You hear the first one says, "The dreams, save the dreams." You hear another one that goes, "Hurry, you can't let the dreams die." And then like another one that says, "Save the stars, save the stars." And like this is some creepy shit. They're like giving you what like at least to them is apparently some like dire warnings per se, or like a cry for help. But they don't seem distressed at all. It's just like full of like laughs and giggles and them like saying things like, don't let dreams die and stuff. What's Tony thinking right now?
Okay, it's been a real long day. I gotta get to the train. Something's not right in my head. I gotta get that train, and I just gotta sit down.
Heard. And then just like somebody hitting the rewind button, all of the snow is sucked out insanely quick. Like you've instinctively, like if you hadn't instinctively held your breath, you feel like it might have been like sucked out as well. Then everything fully just goes back to normal. It's still eerie, but like you do hear one other voice that's like in these hallways. Like, do you listen for it?
Yeah, sure.
You hear a voice towards the end of the hallway that just goes, "It's tricky to rock around, that's right, all time is tricky." Yeah, just full on jamming as Miles, who doesn't seem to have noticed anything in peculiar that just happened. He seems completely oblivious to what's just happened. He like looked out when the doors opened like crazy, and it was just kind of like, huh, and then like went right back into it. Sorry. You see that Miles is like using the mop as like a microphone stand, like while he's doing like the song. Then he goes for a full like 360 spin where you like throw the like mop, spin, and catch it on like the way back. But halfway through it, he sees you like staring at there. You're staring at like what the fuck is happening, like mouth agape. He thinks you're staring at him. Drops the mop with a loud just like clank 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 clank. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, well, hey, what's going on, Mr. Fischetti? You didn't see any of that, did you?"
You have a nice night, Miles. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Cool. Have a good night. Oh, hey, before you head out, I was wondering, do you think dreams are real? I mean, like, not biologically or scientifically. I mean, like, outside of, like, a chemical reaction in your brain, Like, when my mom and me moved here, it was always like, follow your dreams, and, if you dream hard enough. Do you think that, like, you think you can, like, do that?
I would love to have this discussion with you right now, but the last M line's gonna go, and I really gotta catch it.
Heard. So you quote unquote finish your conversation as you're heading out towards to catch the M, and as you get actually outside and you start heading down the sidewalk, the wind starts to blow again. It blows around you in a sense, and it kind of makes you feel like you're in like a weird wind tunnel, kind of. Could you make me an insight or a nature check, please?
Right, which of those do I have? All right, we're gonna do. That is a 10 on my nature check.
That's just enough. The wind isn't like it's not blowing in a sense. Like, okay, you've been in places with wind, and generally that's not how wind works. It doesn't blow around somebody. It would just try to blow through somebody. You know what I mean? There's like a pressure. The wind that you're in does make you feel like you're kind of in a wind tunnel, but it doesn't feel like it's blowing on you as much as it's like making a path for you. Like walking with it feels better and feels right, but walking out, trying to like walk out of it, you start to feel that like pressure and like because you're in like that kind of wind tunnel. So I will ask you this: do you walk with the wind or do you try to walk like against it?
Is with the wind gonna take me to the train?
It's hard to tell. Like honestly, like it's kind of both. There are times where the wind wants you to go essentially wants you to go one way, and that's not the normal path you would take to go to the subway.
I'm gonna follow the wind so long as it will take me towards the subway, and then if I feel like it's starting to veer me too far off course, I'm probably gonna fight against it.
Okay. Weirdly enough, it's almost like it's almost like it's almost like they're what's the word I'm looking for? When you go against the wind, right? You find yourself on like, okay, I should go down this street. And you see that like as you get there, like to those streets, they're like weirdly always blocked off by some like in some way, not just like you can't go this way. Like at one point you get to a street that you're supposed to head down the street and the road's closed off. There's like construction going on. They've like dug the sidewalk up and are like laying down new cement. So you're like, okay, I'll just go around. So you go around to try and kind of go around the block. And there's like a full building that's on fire, like fully ablaze, like a big apartment building. So like there's this like a giant line of like fire trucks that have blocked off the like, so they're not letting people in or out. And you are strangely like, and I use this term loosely, you're like led to like almost kind of like pretty far out of your way. You're like, okay, I will just make a right when like the next nearest right I can, and you still manage to not get to your typical like your typical like station or your typical route.
Mm-hmm.
But what does happen is while you're in the middle of basically playing like hide and seek with the wind and trying to find like and basically playing a big game of Google Maps, the wind suddenly like you walk past these like a part of these two buildings, like a space between these two buildings. The wind fully like on a dime fully stops. Like stop. Like doesn't die down. Stops.
Where am I right now? That's a good question.
Interesting. You turn, like you start to like move around to like look around to get your bearings. You turn and see that you've stopped in front of like this alleyway way out in the middle of Manhattan somewhere. You see that in this alleyway you see a girl who is like fully unconscious and has what looks to be these like weird like red and white peppermint striped like larvae lying around like and tunneling into her skin. There's a full person next to her who is like is very much like Kyoko from The Grudge, who's like bent backwards and the rib cage is like broken outwards as if something broke out of it. The person isn't moving. The person is like fully stationary, isn't moving its head. It looks like it looks first off looks awful. That's like nightmare fuel. You see the things like those larvae like crawling. Some of them are actively trying to dig their way in, like they're biting at the skin. But yeah, you just hear that person, that thing that's like it's like a weird, like shredded and like grotesque, monster Santa thing. Like they have like a red hat on and like a Santa's coat, but it's like ripped apart at the stomach. It's just sitting there, just going like, "Merry Christmas, Christmas, Christmas," like just sitting there, like it's just sitting there.
Jeez. Okay, this is a whole heap in love of not my fucking problem. I'm going the other way.
Heard. You turn around, and it's okay. So first off, you see that first off, things do not look good. And then the air around you, as you start to turn and walk away, goes from like a cold winter day to noticeably warmer. You know how when people say like you can feel a degree in a change of weather? This is multiple degrees within seconds, as if like standing near a heat source. You see a spot in the snow on a sidewalk, like burns into a circle, like it melts and there's like a circle shape on the ground. And just like you hear just like a loud, like boom, loud, massive sound wave cracks. And next to you, you see a girl who seemed like she just was like mid, like a leap. And then like the inertia and like the momentum carried her and like catapulted her out of some like doorway that just appears. She lands on her feet, hits a small patch of ice, slides a bit just before she catches herself, just goes like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, good, we're good. Now it said she'd be somewhere around here. Turns, sees the girl in the alleyway, and then just like looks at you and just goes, oh shit, oh fuck, like looks at you, looks back at her, looks at you, looks back at her, runs into the alleyway, and then, are you like looking at her? Like, do you stare at her when she like does all of that?
I guess I do. You know?
Heard. She runs into the alleyway. You see a flash of light emit from the alleyway. She slowly walks back out of the alleyway, kind of like a double take, looks over at you and goes, wait a minute. Can you see this? Did you see what I was doing?
Define what you were doing, because you know, all I saw was you ran into that building or alleyway and boom, and you know, I'm gonna go. You know, I have a train to catch, and I just turn and I start making like I'm gonna run.
You see, she goes, holy cow, another one? Okay, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I have answers for you. But what we don't have, what neither of us have, is time. So I need you to come with me. I know how this sounds, but it's very important. And long story short, we need you.
Tony's gonna pause for a moment, and he was very heavily like bolt, and then she said answers, and his brain was like all of the reality of everything that just happened caught up with him. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Like that question finally hits him, and he's like, okay, sure, answers. I'll take answers.
Good. Okay. Just a second. You see, she runs, like turns around, like she was like getting really antsy. Like you see, she was kind of like jumping in place. Sprints back into the alleyway, lifts Charlie back onto her back like some sort of cape, and is like dragging her. Like, and she just goes, okay, great. And just so we're clear, sorry in advance for this. She like again picks her up onto her back. You feel a little like a rush of wind hit you from the back of your head, like some of your hair blows in front of you. You kind of look back. There is a full like doorway that has opened up behind you. She kicks you in the chest. You fall backwards into the doorway, and no time has passed as you hit the ground on your butt. You are in a completely different place inside. For starters, you're upside down. Like gravity's been completely reversed. You're standing on like the ceiling, but like your vision is fine. And you're in a library, a truly like endless library. I mean like looking through a mirror, like an infinity mirror, endless. And just rows and rows and columns of shelves with dusty books and tomes. You see that these like specters, these like ghosts, are floating around and are sorting all the books and stuff. You see some of the books are just floating by themselves, and sorting themselves. There are like tables with like different maps and stuff all over them for like studying. And right as you stand up, that woman walks through through that gateway, dragging like the other one on her back, and she goes, "Do me a favor, can you just like clear that table over there?" And she points to like one of the tables off to the side with her head. Do you help her like clear the table at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you just fully
It's kind
push
of
everything off the table. Like, you see, she lays the body on the table. She goes, "Okay, now where the hell is he?" Before she starts to walk away to like look down some other hallways, and then this massive door that is like the entrance like exit area. It's the only giant door in the whole place. Opens up with this loud like chagoom. It starts to open up. Charlie, you snap awake. And so you snap awake. Smoke. It is late in the day. Are you investigating the park?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a job. Wait.
Okay.
Was I able to see the dawn, or I'm?
That's up to you. Lucio said it's probably not a good idea since he's trying to help Angela plan for the wedding. So he's swamped. Like he's genuinely swamped. The Don's role, like he's not just this girl's daughter. Like he doesn't have to just give her away at the wedding. He's also the Don, and he needs to make sure she's safe, and he needs to like pay for everything, which isn't a big deal. But he's got to like pay for everything and make sure that, like the cops are. He just has a full plate. So it's kind of up to you if you want to like risk getting on his nerves at all.
Nah, I'll investigate. If anything shows up, I'll just send a message back.
Okay, cool. Can you roll me an investigation check, please?
Okay. Guys, please don't take in all the natural 20s for yourself. So this is +6. 16.
Awesome. So you get to the park. Normally, in this like insane day where all of these like gross Santas fill the Unsleeping City, and like regular humans only see it as like a weird pub crawl, but like all the magical denizens of New York know that it's just this weird thing where a bunch of gross mutants bumble around until they get like cleaned up. You would normally find like bags of cocoa and like treats and stuff that Santa leaves for like the homeless and things like that, so they have a like they have food during during his ritual, which by the way, if you ever want to roll an Arcana check or a history check, you totally can, in regards to what I'm referring to.
I'll roll that history actually.
Okay, cool.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, that's not your basically, like, you know something about it. You know that Santa does some sort of ritual that ultimately affects the outcome of Christmas Day. But like you don't really know the specific. Like that's enough. You know what I mean? Like that was enough for you to like be like, okay, cool. That like I know what it is.
Yeah, it's not dangerous. It doesn't cause problems.
Exactly.
So, like, it's not security risks.
Exactly. But yeah, you're here, so you know it. That normally this is around the time where you would start seeing that those bags of cocoa and those hot meals. You look around and you haven't heard or found anything at all. In fact, there should be a much bigger population of like the homeless that kind of live in the park. Nothing. It's just empty. Again, which is weird. You know, like again, you know that the agreement the Pixie Mob has with Santa and his elves is that basically that there's an open line of communication usually. Essentially, something in the realm of like a mass email between the two organizations to say like, hey, it's that time of the year again. No threatening or extorting the homeless, to push your drugs. Let them enjoy the cocoa and the meal, like that I'm leaving for them, and then you got everything else, and so it's like mutually beneficial, right?
Mhm.
You arrive in a clearing, and you see that there is this enormous, like polished red sleigh. The
Just sitting there.
just sitting there. The area where like reindeer would be attached to the sleigh has been completely like cut and severed. And there's like a giant glove box in the sleigh that's been torn out at the front of the sleigh, and there's like things scattered everywhere. It looks like people have been rummaging through the sleigh.
Can I roll an investigation to like give it a good one stir?
100%.
Yeah, if I can actually take 10 on this, that would be awesome.
So when I'll say this. Are you proficient in? I'll say this. You're a very like thorough guy, given your background. I'll say you could actually just roll this with advantage.
Okay, awesome. First one, 21.
Beautiful. For starters, you see that there is peppermint smelling blood everywhere, just all over the place. It's just white and red splattered striped blood on everything around here. You see that there's also a number of these small little green ivy leaves kind of sprinkled all over the place. Can you roll me an Arcana or a Nature check, please, as well?
Arcana.
So basically, I'll say this. You can
7.
roll them both if you want. So what I want you to do is roll a Nature check. If you want to roll an Arcana for more information, you can do that as well.
Nature is int. I did not know that. Yeah, I'll roll 20 for nature and 7 for Arcana.
Okay. Oh, you got a 20 anyway. So you see that the leaves, also because you're a member of the Unsleeping City, of like the magical world, these leaves are not from the waking world. They're not ivy that grows in regular mundane New York. These are from Nod, the sixth borough. Like you can smell them. You can literally smell the dream magic coming from them. And that's what's weird about it, because you smell dream magic with this, like it's from a different realm. It has a natural smell, which is like not the smell that you're focusing on. It'd be like smelling a rose and then smelling a different smell. You know what I'm saying? Like you expect to smell a rose, but you smell something different. That's what happens here. You expect to smell Nod energy coming from it, which you do smell, but you also smell another type of magic. You smell pixie magic.
Really?
Yeah. You say that maybe like you don't smell it in the peppermint blood, but it is definitely all over the rest of the sleigh. You notice that there's also a glyph with that investigation. You also know that there's like a glyph carved into the wood at the front of the sleigh that looks like it's like broken somehow. Like it looks like fairy stuff. Like it looks like the more you like look at it, you're just like, okay, this is fairy magic. This could be any race. But now you're starting to see the small adjustments in calligraphy on these glyphs is definitely like of the pixie language, of like the pixie calligraphy, of the iconography. But you're not you work for them, but you're not a pixie, so you don't fully understand it. But you do know what you do know. Again, given your position in the given that you live in the Unsleeping City, there are organizations out in the Unsleeping City with like knowledge of these kind of mysteries, and people who like there are organizations with massive libraries and things of this kind of stuff.
As a member of the Unsleeping City, would I be able to go visit? Because everyone knows about the society, right?
Yeah, they're not a secret society. They're just like they exist for a purpose, and they're, like I said, they're not secret. Everybody in the Unsleeping City knows of them in one way or another.
Okay. Yeah. So Smoke is gonna take out his phone, gonna snap a couple of pictures of the glyphs, and then he's going to message someone a part of someone a part of his crew, someone lower ranking of him, and like be like, the message is anybody a part of the mob that did a job in the park area recently, like check that out. Like if like is there something happening that I don't know about, because this seems real bad.
You get a message back from a girl named Naomi. She's like part of your posse. She's like one of your she's not like an underling of your group. You are definitely the one that they look to as like their head, like their boss. Like you're not, but they view you as that. It's kind of just like, we follow this guy. She's like, no problem, on it. Why is anything wrong? Like, is something up?
Not right now. Don't disturb the boss. Let's just say Christmas might be canceled this year.
She goes, you see that she responds, shit, was hoping for a pony. JK, I'm on it.
Thanks. And I'm gonna... Is there like a trail of blood?
There's not... Strangely... Okay, give me... there's no... of peppermint blood or of blood?
Any trail leading from the... Like, does it just look like there was someone here and like there was a struggle and then all of a sudden nothing is here? Like, is it unusually clean?
So yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check or an investigation check if you'd be so kind.
If you keep giving me investigations, I will keep taking them. But I will keep rolling 7s. 13.
13's enough. The only trail that leads from the site, you find that like there's a thicket of like thicker woods area a little bit away from the sleigh. You see that for starters, most of the that's another thing. Most of the reindeer aren't anywhere in sight. They're all like gone. However, off behind that thicket, not moving and ever so slightly breathing and covered in these crazy red and white striped like tumors, is one of the reindeer that it was either like tried to run off and didn't make it very far, or was dragged over here and then whatever happened to it.
Son of a baby. Alright. Phone, I'm gonna... is there a magical version of Uber?
Not a magical version. It would just be regular Uber. It's just like... It would just mean, like, is the driver of the Waking World, the Unsleeping City. Because there's definitely, like, ghosts and shit that drive cabs.
Yeah, I'm gonna call one of the mob cabs and, like, basically, like, hey, I need a pickup at this location, and you're gonna take me to the doc's place.
Heard.
Then
Do you want to
try to
investigate?
pick up the reindeer.
You're gonna try and pick up the reindeer?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a strength check, please.
Oh no, that's a negative. Hey, 15.
15. This is a heavy ass reindeer. So basically, like, you can drag it. It's gonna take a while. Like, it's gonna take a long amount of time. Because you're dragging a full grown deer. Like it's like dragging a moose. It's huge and it's very heavy.
Yeah, but I can't let this thing die though. It has information, so I'm gonna do it.
Do you have any like healing spell, or like any like medicine or like anything like that you want to try?
I do have cure wounds actually. Yes, I do have cure wounds.
Okay, I mean that's up to you if you want to use it. But I will ask you this: do you want to investigate anything else about the site before you head out?
Okay, so there's peppermint blood. Does it look like there was a struggle actually?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's like the outside of the sleigh is very polished, but upon closer inspection, you see scuff marks and marks all on the interior of the sleigh.
Okay, I have a picture of the glyph. I have a reindeer that's currently like real bad looking. Mm. And there's no trail of like footprints walking away from the sleigh.
Correct.
Is there a... Let me look at my spell slot. Maybe. Is there... I'm going to cast... Because this has to be a thing. I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, there's definitely... And I'll say this. Since you used Detect Magic and not an Arcana, I can actually tell you more about this glyph if you'd like. So basically, Santa's sleigh... Everything in this site is magic. Like... and you do see that there is definitely there's different magics here. And one of those things is that there's pixie magic here. In addition, looking at the glyph, you recognize that one element of the glyph is that, which is immediately, like, kind of troubling. This is a clear Fey rune. This is a clear Fey fairy rune. And it is all about breaking a ward of some kind. It's all about breaking wards. Magical wards, which would make sense because Santa's sleigh would be warded beyond imagination. So, like, for it to be on here makes sense. And since you're, again, because you're using Detect Magic, the thing that gives this the juice to work, though, like I said, though the thing that's pretty troubling about it, is because normally a fairy, especially like a pixie, would not have the oomph to crack into Santa's sleigh. Santa's an incredibly powerful magical being. You'd have to have magic on par with or better to get into that, right? And that doesn't seem like a pixie's thing, right? That being said, there's something being invoked here, and hidden within this rune, and with the magic you can recognize that something you don't know what it is, and you can't necessarily read it, because it's been like used and consumed and whatnot. But it is infernal. Whatever it is it's an infernal rune.
Oh, hell is involved. That's not good. And Smoke actually says that out loud. That's not good at all.
If you would like, and you don't have to, will you roll me one more insight or investigation, please?
Okay. One more investigation. Wow. 10.
Okay. So, given what you've uncovered, you can deduce a few things. Like a couple things.
Okay.
You know that, so you know, and so does the Pixie Mob know, that the park is Santa's stomping ground during the 12 days of
SantaCon.
Christmas, right?
Yeah.
During SantaCon, during the 12 days of Christmas. Santa's ritual, which is the name of it, is called the 12 days of Christmas. It is during that there is an agreement that the Pixies and all other criminal underground stays away, like is inactive essentially during that time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a ceasefire between like the elves and the Fae and whatever, like whoever is in question. It helps business on both ends. So Santa should be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he isn't. And not just that, but there's blood everywhere, showing signs of a conflict, and especially like a bad one.
Yeah, somebody nabbed Santa.
Right. Meaning, and you're seeing all of this different kinds of magic here. So even if Santa won, right, even if he was successful in whatever the encounter was, he would still be here because if he's not at the North Pole, he's at his strongest in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he was injured, even if he was bleeding out, he would be here. Again, but he's not. Meaning that your evidence essentially doesn't point that Santa turned on the mob.
That means, does that necessarily mean that the mob, someone of Fey origin, turned on Santa?
It would mean, I would say this: you've got a couple of avenues that you are like more than willing to explore. Maybe getting like another opinion or another fresh look on it might help you out. But you do get a notification, and whenever you'd like to do that, you can. You know, time is however much time you think you have, how much you have. You get a message on your phone. It's a notification that your Uber driver is arriving at Central Park. So that happens. You look back at the reindeer, who does have a collar on. It was Dasher. Dasher. He has fully perished though. It seems that whatever is affecting him. Actually, make me a medicine check, please. I'll say with advantage. You casted Cure Wounds, so go ahead and give me with advantage.
Okay. So even with the Cure Wounds, he's looking like he's still gonna pass away.
It looks like whatever's affecting him isn't it's not hit point damage cures wounds. You know what I mean? Like it seals wounds. It stops you from bleeding. Your Cure Wounds doesn't seem to be working. Like almost like there's not a wound for you to be curing. What did you get on that medicine?
20.
20? It seems like there's something much deeper and more profane affecting it. Almost like as if it's some sort of not a curse, but more like maybe like a parasite or a disease that is affecting it. And in fact, with the 20 medicine, you can see the outer layer of the reindeer hide is slowly bumps are slowly moving throughout it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely probably gonna tell the Uber driver, because more than likely he works for the mob as well. Gonna have him put the reindeer in the back of the car, and we're gonna speed it to the doctor's place.
You're going where? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
The doctor's place, where the guy who fixed up my hands earlier.
Oh, Lugosh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you head right back. It's very easy. By the way, your driver's name is Twinkle. He's
Of course.
Yeah, he's like your go-to driver. He's like a guy that it's not that you don't trust other drivers. It's just you've worked with Twinkle so often. It's just like I prefer this guy because I know him and I know how he works and how he operates. He takes you straight to Lugosh. Lugosh is not there. The door is locked. It seems that he had left or gone somewhere.
Son of a bitch. Is there a receptionist?
There's a receptionist area, but no, you can actually see the lights are turned out. There's a sign in the window that says the doctor is in, or the doctor is out, and it says that the doctor is out.
Okay, if Lugosh is not here, I'm going to basically take out my phone, and I'm going to have... What is Ed's character's name again? Sorry.
Diego.
I'm going to send Diego a text message. Be like, where are you? This is Smoke.
I was gonna say, yeah, Diego, you get a message from a full unknown number that just says, where are you?
How you get my how the fuck you get my number?
That's my job. Where are you?
Nah, you gotta tell me how you got my number first.
The two of them are having coffee and staring at each other and smoking a cigarette, just he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. Gets her phone. Who the fuck is this guy? Where are you? How you know me?
I have a dying reindeer that knows where Santa Claus is.
The reindeer is fully dead.
Fuck.
I
have a dead reindeer.
It's being you can actually you're texting I have a dead reindeer. You turn around and literally see pits in the reindeer's hide and carcass, like holes are starting to be eaten in it. Like whatever is inside of it is eating it very quickly.
I need a doctor. I will pay you. Where are you?
Do I know you?
This is Smoke.
Oh, you did do it from the clinic. Yeah, sure. Swing by. I'm just gonna tell him where I am. I think at this point I'm already at the public library, right?
Yeah, you're quite literally walking up towards the front of the library right now. Like you're not. You can see it. You're a little bit away. Maybe like I'd say like 100 or so feet. So you're like on the street. You can see it. You're pretty much there already.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
I'll tell him like I'm at the public library.
Needed to go there anyway. Gonna pull up during the back. Have a stretcher ready. It's pretty nasty.
KK.
Weird.
Do I get it? I feel like I was about to get a TTYL XOX from you.
Not even 2K, just 1K. Okay.
Alright, and Twinkle and I are we're gonna go check out some books.
Heard. So you head out for the public library, and it's pretty easy. Like it's a pretty straight shot. You arrive, and it is this truly. I don't know if anybody's ever been to New York or saw the New York Public Library. It is I think it is the biggest library ever built. So it's like this truly terrifyingly massive marble building. The front of it is lined with it's huge, and it has these massive marble columns, like pillars that hold that frame it, that are so also incredibly large that the diameter of one is astronomical. It's huge. In front, you see two giant lions that flank the entrance of the library, of the entrance of the building. And as you get closer, and as you arrive, you see Smoke. As you arrive, you see the two other individuals have arrived at the building. One's a little bruised up, and the other one is a little bit younger with a stick and a squirrel on his shoulder. You meet up with Diego and Henry at the public library.
I look at Henry and I just gesture I look at Henry and go, "You. What do you see?" And I gesture to my face. And if you're able to if you're a part of the city, if you just awoke, you'll be able to see that my skin is pitch black. It's not an African American skin tone. It's midnight black, and I have a metal jaw on my face, and it looks really gnarly. I have the bottom jaw of a dragon.
You look like you just walk out of a Halloween store.
I love this.
Good, you're awake. Come. And I gesture to the back of the car where you see a really gnarly looking dead reindeer. I need help with this.
Jesus, dude, what'd you do? You hit a fucking deer in the middle of New York City?
Just help me get inside the library. I'll explain on the way down.
What kind of deer is this? And why is it in this part of town?
You see this deer? Is the deer in the trunk, or is it in the back seat?
Trunk.
This trunk,
Oh my God.
So, Diego, your reaction is very accurate. When he opens it, you are hit with a weight. This smell is so confusing on so many levels, because it is the smell of of peppermint, of a fresh, minty peppermint. So it's sweet and kind of smells kind of okay. And it's just fully accented by the dankest, truly the most pungent, rotting flesh smell. Just utter deterioration. and there's only half of a deer in the back trunk. The whole back half of the deer has been fully consumed. It's just little bits and bobbins of like pieces of like flesh that look like little scraps of like leather, and just like bones in the back. Like some of them have like muscles on them still, but this like the deer has no eyes at this point.
I throw up.
Smoke, dude, what the fuck? You try to eat it?
First off, and like point over to. This is really his first day, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, motherfucker just got hit by 2 trolls. So yeah, he's
Oh,
not
that's
having a
just-
good day. Yeah.
I wipe my mouth.
All right.
Hey, you okay there, Harry?
Am I okay? Fucking
Yeah, you
ghost man
good?
over here is carrying a half-dead deer in the back of his trunk for whatever reason. You're slinging fireballs, and I got beat up by fucking Tweedledee and Tweedletum in a fucking alleyway. No, I ain't having a good day.
Actually, it's just a firebolt. Like I'm not like up to that level yet. Alejandro's like really working with me. Like I'm like slowly learning to like improve myself. Wait, what
Not
was
My
it?
now.
jaw just dropped, and like my
Your-
eyebrows slowly
Your
start to raise.
conversation, you guys are interrupted by this booming voice that just goes, "Well, did someone mention Alejandro?" And you turn, and one of the lions is fully like head moving and speaking.
What's the lion's name? Because I feel like everyone who like everyone knows these lines.
So I'll ask you this: given what you know about Smoke, would Smoke have ever visited the Gramercy Occult Society, like been inside of the headquarters?
100%, because he would look for the woman with the mask, and that was the best place to go. So they probably
Okay.
are familiar with him.
The 2 lions' names are Orlando and Rovius.
Those are some powerful ass names. Rovius, and like he always confuses them. Rovius.
He goes,
Right.
"No, I'm Orlando."
Yeah, sorry. Is the Grandmaster in?
Ah, yes, the Archmage is inside. Do you wish to enter? And you hear the other one goes, "Yes, I do think they wish to enter. Hello, it is good to see you again, young apprentice."
Hey, Orly, Rove, was good.
Oh, you know,
What's next,
just outside
man?
being lions and made of stone.
Ah, so it's the usual.
Yes, we've been practicing our singing voice. Listen, la. How good was that?
Wait, hold on. Let me pull. If I pull up a beat, what can you do?
He goes, "Oh, no. We only listen to classical music, not a lot of hip hop around these parts."
Ah, you're so fucking pretentious. All right. You go if I go wait for Alejandro inside?
Say that one more time.
You go if I go wait for Alejandro inside?
Oh, yes. In that case, what business brings you to the Gramercy Occult Society?
Esther actually asked me to come here.
Very well. Then let's play some games. We do guard the library, after all. We are the guardians of the Gramercy Occult Society. Hello there, new face. I didn't see you till just now. I am Orlando, and this is my boyfriend, Rovius. And you see that Rovius goes, "I love this part." Orlando's clears his voice, just, his voice becomes, his voice grows loud, like, and deep, and truly, like, from, like, a playful, almost like, he's a lion, and he acts like a cat. He goes straight to, like, one of us speaks the truth, and one of us speaks only lies. We are the guardians of the 2 doors. One is what you seek. The other is certain death. For which door do you choose? Oh, and you can ask us one question.
You want to let the new guy do it?
I mean, they've seen me 100 times. I'm pretty sure they want the new guy to be initiated. Harry, come
Yeah.
here.
I start messing with the deer. I'm like taking the back part of like the part of the trunk that pops out. He's using that as like a stretch board.
It's truly gross because it's like soft now. Like there's like no firmness to the to the carcass. It's like soft. Like you at one point, like you're like okay, and you pick up the part of that trunk, and like you like are using it to like lift the deer. Your hand that is under the like that mat goes through the deer. Like luckily you're using like that as like a faux glove, but your hand fully goes to the deer, and you're just like nope, like
Yeah.
Oh, bro, stop poking
Twinkle, get the
fucking
tarp.
Can I do an Arcana check on the deer,
um
like to see if there's any kind of like magical workings into what happened to him?
it would be a medicine check, unfortunately.
Um, sure, I'll do a medicine. That's 11, I think.
It's hard to tell. You can see that what you can tell is that something's eating it. Something is actively eating it at an alarmingly quick rate.
But he's already dead and he's still being eaten.
The
Yeah.
deer isn't eating. Whatever is inside of the deer is eating it.
Okay. Hey, Orlando, Robius, are you guys cool if we just skip the games for today and just go straight in? Because we really need to get out of the street.
I actually,
You wanna go? You wanna play?
well, I interrupt, like, what's next? The Tin Man?
He's in Chicago as of currently.
Yeah, I think he's messing with the leprechauns actually.
Oh, dude. What about like what
you
about
guys
the
got
man?
joke.
Oh, by the way, Henry, this is Dasher. So can we chop?
Dasher. Who's Dasher? I thought his name was
Dasher,
Orlando.
Blitzen, you know the reindeers.
Oh,
Santa Claus.
hold on.
He goes. You see that the two of them converse. The two of the lions are conversing. They turn to you, Diego, and they go, "Oh, very well. If you wish to skip all of the fun games," and the Rovius goes, "We do love games.
To-
I suppose
to be fair,
since you've
like-
done this 100 times."
Your games are quite easy. I've been around the block once or twice. I simply ask you which one is the correct door to leave, and then I pick the opposite. Am I wrong?
Oh my God, Rovius. He goes, "I know. You're like the first one to actually do the riddle. Nobody ever does the riddle, and we're so happy that you decided to partake."
I've been around the world, and I'll tell you this: I've never seen quite talking lions. But that's
Oh, there's much
pretty
more than
awful.
talking lions. We're the first talking stone lions you've ever met. Anyway, please, welcome. Come in, enter. And you see that there is a secret stone door that opens at a diagonal in the steps. So like you go up the stairs, and at the landing at the top, another set of stairs opens up downwards. So you go like up and then back down on a 45. And it is just this descending into darkness staircase. You guys walk down into the Gramercy Occult Society headquarters. That hides hides underneath the New York Public Library. You go down the steps, and the steps immediately like MC Escher. So you're going sideways and upside down, going through their doors, and then arriving in another upside down library where the gravity has been fully reversed. You know that your heads are pointed away from the sky, but it looks totally normal to you. Huge, tall libraries everywhere, covered in books, and you see that a very old, extremely like rotund man is like walking from like one side to the other side. He's got this big old white mustache, little flat cap on. Excuse me, and comes out, talks to you guys, like sees you. He's got he has the warmest eyes. He's like a big grandfather. Like he's just like a big grandfather who like always buys you like sweets for no reason. Just like an extremely gregarious guy, but he's definitely like well into his 90s. You see that this is your mentor, Alejandro. And you see that he goes, "Ah, Diego, it is good to see you again, my friend."
Ale, how you doing, man?
He goes,
Come on,
He goes, you know, it is what it is. Oh, you have brought friends, Mr. Smoke.
Yeah.
I.
Oh, you know Smoke?
He says we have met once or twice. The GOS has not been in recent business with the mob. I struggle to see the reason you are here.
Not personal business, just taking care of something. Research. You're always interested in that.
That is true. I do enjoy the research. Well, where can I point you to? What are you looking into? What are you looking into that I may point you in the right direction?
Something, a riddle for you. What eats until something is dead and keeps eating more as he opens up the tarp that they usually put bodies in and like shows him the carcass of Dasher.
You see, he goes, "Oh my God! Is that Dasher?
Yeah.
What? Why do you have Santa's reindeer?"
Because someone got Santa.
Wait a minute. Are you being serious?
Yeah,
Santa Claus is missing right now?
Yeah, someone, by the looks of it, someone planned a hit on Santa.
Oh my God. You see that he looks around, kind of like you can visibly he gets like anxious. He's like not nervous, but like kind of just like a little bit worried. And he goes, "Well, we have been getting some strange reports. Hold on." He turns to this massive door that's behind him. You see he waves his ring across it. You see a flash of light shines in the carvings of this door, and there's this loud chakoom that opens the door, like with a quick initial burst of speed before slowing, like immediately after. And you see that walking towards you is this kind of like this girl who stops before the door. On one of the tables, Diego, you see that there's another girl on one of the tables. Diego, you see that the girl walking towards you is Esther, who is already on her way towards you. You see Esther is this darker skinned girl. She's maybe in her 20s. Blue streak in her hair with like an undercut, a lot of jewelry. She's got this cool style, like cool meets punk, very wizard chic. She's got a leather jacket on with studs and spikes, some like chains, some like dark green and black plaid denim jeans, knee-high combat boots on. You see, she goes, "Alejandro, good, you're here. Listen, I think she's been bit by a Santa Claus." And you see, Henry, can you just make like a wisdom save, please?
Yeah, and I like utter to myself, "Did it bit by Santa Claus?"
You see that she goes, no, a Santa Claus.
Hey,
Okay.
nice to see you, Miss Sinclair.
Oh,
How's your
I
father?
got- You said wisdom, right?
Yeah.
21.
You see, so the only thing that was weird about that is that she said a Santa. Like you're just kind of like, what the a Santa? Like so like nothing catastrophic happens. You ask about her dad, she just goes, still not talking. Anyway, she turns to you, Henry, who's very much just like, what the fuck? And she just, I'll explain later. Charlie, you're fully conscious, sitting up at the table, and it just reeks of Pine Sol, this table. You've gotten bitten on your neck, and now you can only smell mint. And you can feel your bones slowly, like, twisting and turning and becoming, like, peppermints and candy canes inside of your body. It's horrifically painful. And, like, just becoming sweet, and a full peppermint tooth pops one of your teeth out and becomes, like, where one of your original teeth goes. And you see, like, and you feel, but everyone else can see just masses moving around under the skin. And Alejandro goes, "We must act quickly. You there," points to you, Henry. He goes, "There is a jar with the purple liquid in it. Please, bring it to me." As you say that, he's made his way over to you, Charlie. He holds his hand out. Some spell energy just like whooshes out over you. And this like arcane energy restrains you to the table, and simultaneously begins to like scan your body and shows like an X-ray almost, as if like looking through a glass jar. So like your skin becomes like see-through, and you guys can see literal like peppermint striped larvae crawling around and like attempting to eat through the bones, like tunnel their way through bones and stuff. Henry, do you get the liquid?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like panicky.
He
And I
goes,
smell it too for some
it's like you smell it, immediately take 2 points of wisdom of psychic damage, and you're immediately just like, ugh, like it's like sniffing the most potent of alcohol. It's not alcohol. It just it burns when you smell it. He goes, yeah, be careful. It is Basilisk venom. He mage hands this kind of like CDC trauma kit over, pulls out this gigantic like needle, gets this huge alchemical mixing kit. He starts to take the purple liquids, takes some stuff out of his pocket, starts mixing it together, mixes everything, throws into a syringe, and he looks at you, Charlie, while you're like onto the table, and he goes, "You are lucky, Mija. Had we not found you, things would be much, much worse. As we speak, this arcane parasite is eating through your insides and replacing them with peppermint. But this," and he points to like the needle, and he goes, "this should fix the damage." He injects the fluid into you, Charlie. The pain immediately stops. And he goes, "But I sense that there is something deeper and more profound happening to you." And he like puts a hand on your forehead. Very like gingerly, very like lovingly. And he says, you see that Alejandro stands up, puts his gear off to the side of the table. Esther walks up, stands next to him, facing all of you who are now all in the same room in this wide arc, and she goes, "Huh. Right. I'm sure some of you have questions. Now would be a good time to ask those. So who wants to start?"
Where are your books?
She just kind of like looked like her, doesn't even turn. She just like motions with her arm backwards to the endless amounts of like rows and just goes, "Knock yourself out."
All right. See you in a couple hours.
Anybody else?
Who the fuck are you people?
Oh, you're new.
New? I feel like I've just been drenched in fucking Tic Tacs, my guy.
You see that Alejandro goes, "My name is Alejandro Ortiz. I am the Archmage of the Gramercy Occult Society, and I have been so for the past 67 years.
The what?
The Gramercy Occult Society.
Are you even speaking English?
Yes.
Mages.
I actually speak 8 other languages. I'm using this because this seems to be your common
Oh
tongue."
my god, Johnny must have spiked my drink. Oh my god, that's what's happening here. That's it, right, Johnny? This is all fucking prank, isn't it? Look, I know I've been failing my last 4 fights, okay? I know it's what's been happening, but you don't need to put me on this psyche trip, okay? You don't need to do this to me.
He goes, "We are not putting you on any kind of trip. You see, we are wizards who protect the New York City from the arcane."
The wizards, okay, yeah, and I'm a fucking werewolf, so
He
I'm gonna
goes,
go
"I'm
home
not a
now.
werewolf."
You see that he goes, "Yes, and these are my 2 apprentices, Esther and Diego." And Esther says, "Yeah, and we run this thing." She points to this giant machine that's just been sitting in the back, and like it's almost like lodged in the floor. Like you can walk over and look down it, like it's like almost like a massive well. It's not that deep, but it's like almost like a big well. It's this giant source of light with like these gyroscopic rings, like layers spinning around. It's utterly silent, and it is absorbing what looks to be this black inky smoke stuff, and like it is just absorbing it. She goes, "And we run that thing."
Is this a drug lab? Have I been captured by some fucking addicts? Oh god, my mother's gonna kill me. Oh wait, she's dead. Oh god.
You see that she goes, "Look, I know this is all very," like starts to trail off and is like looking like starting to stare at you, and she goes, "Do you feel any different?"
Different. I feel like I've been. I mean, back to the Tic Tac thing.
Right. you see that she like looks at Alejandro. Alejandro goes, "What is?" Can everybody else make a perception check, please?
Okay.
20.
19.
19. That's enough. Okay. 2019.
No, it's 2021.
Anybody else? What else you get?
I got an 8.
Jeez, yeah, you don't see shit. You're in the library. You're over like Santa, like bugs. And
Fairies, demons.
Tony, what'd you get? Heard. You guys notice that you guys haven't been really staring at each other. You've kind of been at attention, Esther and Alejandro talking. Now that they're like looking at Charlie, you guys slowly start to look at Charlie. Charlie has like grown, not a full one, but like a snout. Her face is like kind of scrunched in. It's very animalistic, like that of like a wolf or like a tiger or something. And like she has clawed hands. And she goes, hold on. And she walks over and goes, it's like starts moving stuff on the table, pulls out a hand mirror and just goes like that different, and like holds it to your face.
To Charlie's face?
To Charlie's face.
You feel alright?
Charlie just like grabs the mirror, kind of looks at it. She like looks at everyone else. She like, what's the dude's name again?
Alejandro?
She looks at Alejandro. And she's just like, you fucking, my drink was, passes out. Immediately passes out.
Mirror and look at it. Damn it.
Yeah, no, Henry, you have not changed at all. Like, you're exactly the same.
Like, I got, like, real worried and grabbed it and just looked and saw it was the same, like, fucked up face from the trolls and be like, damn it. I kind of just, like, tossed it away.
She goes, right. She's having a bad reaction to whatever happened internally and the Umbral Arcana.
Why didn't I change it?
It could be the fact that you weren't eaten, you weren't being consumed by whatever was plaguing your body. I think we've deduced it as to some sort of, like I said, bad reaction to, you know, an evil Umbra mixing with a sudden purging with raw Umbra. So I think you're okay.
In my experience, a lot of times it's either something fucks you up or like a genetic thing. If you don't have some weird shit in your blood, you should be fine.
So, you know, count yourself lucky. She's out of the question. Does anybody else have any questions?
I just want to make sure
How
I
do
heard
I
this
get
right,
home?
yeah?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm Esther. Alejandro, you are...
The name's Henry. Hello?
I think his mic is cutting out. I think he's having mic problems.
Is it me? Am I the mic problem?
Yeah. So she says, okay, Alejandro, I'm Esther, you're Henry, and you are...
You can call me Tony.
Nice to meet you, Tony. Did you have a question?
Sure. If I heard this right, the passed out one on the table there, yeah. Peppermint. She's turning into Peppermint.
Yeah. Well, she was. She's not anymore. She's totally cured. Aside from the... And she, like, is, like, gesturing to her face. She goes, you know, like, and, like, making, like, an invisible snout, like, on her face. That thing.
And you're wizards.
Yes.
I'm not.
And there's more than one Santa Claus.
Huh.
Yeah.
Only one Santa Claus.
I'm sorry, do we need to explain?
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
just
do you have anything to drink?
I'm just processing. Is all. You take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, you see that she, like, waves a sigil and a full, it's a literal glass of water, like, floats to you, Henry.
No. I need something with like alcohol.
I am not that
You know,
trained,
amen to that,
unfortunately.
brother.
Okay.
I start smelling like all the jars that she has around the lab.
You smell. Okay, you smell what? Give me. I'll say, give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's a horrible idea.
Great thing to do. Constitution, yeah.
Yeah.
19.
You find the only one that looks clear. Open it up. Slam it down. It feels awful. It feels so terrible, and that's great. Like you're just like, oh god, this is a terrible idea, and then you sip it again. Like, it again doesn't have like a label on it. It just has like some sort of symbol on it. That is the label that you obviously can't read. And you see that Esther just fully is like, okay. Oh, you're sipping it again? Okay. Are you feeling okay?
Never better.
She goes,
This stuff really calms the nerves, though. I'll tell you that.
she goes, interesting. Well, I guess you answered your question as to what happened to you as a result of the Umbral Arcana. Iron lead stomach. Anyway, wow, there are a lot of you this time. Let me explain from the top. What do each of you know about SantaCon? Start there. Charlie, you fully awake. Like, you're literally just like...
Santa's inside of me! Huh?
No, there isn't. You're okay. Do you need to sit down?
Aren't I sitting down?
No, dear. And you, like, look around. You're fully, like, prone on the ground.
Have a swig of this.
He's-
Santa kind of like a.
I'm sorry. Henry offers you, like, it's like a glass... It's like a giant glass mason jar. There's just, like, a symbol on it, and it's, like, a clear fluid.
I give him the biggest, like, what the fuck is wrong with you face? Like a...
That's moonshine I've
You know
ever
what?
had.
Well, half animal as well. Half animal. What the fuck is wrong with you, face?
Like when the dog, like she cocks her head like the dog.
Yeah. She goes, Diego, what do you remember of SantaCon?
Isn't it some kind of a pub crawl, something like that?
Okay. Let's recap. So what SantaCon is, what it actually is a little bit more complex than a pub crawl, okay? In short, it's magic, right? But magic has to follow certain rules, work in certain ways. It's very, very hard to do. People perceive SantaCon as a large, obnoxious pub crawl. So yes, it is that. But, with Santa lookalikes and whatnot absolutely littering the streets. So firstly, she turns to you, Henry. Santa is real. Secondly,
That he's a dick.
yeah, this one's not.
He's alright.
This one's okay. He's
He could be worse.
So
Could be like
secondly,
Easter Bunny.
What do you mean this one? Like
secondly,
Tim Allen?
we'll
This one?
we'll get there. Secondly, Santa can't be in every single place at one time. We know that, right? Logically, that makes no sense. So how do you think he gets to all of those houses on Christmas Eve?
Magic.
Yes. Yes. But even with magic, that would be on a level that is truly truly staggering to even consider. So instead, Santa clones himself millions and millions of times. And each of those clones goes to separate zones and houses. You with me so far?
Not even the slightest bit.
I follow.
Right.
I skipped that shit again.
it's getting better. Like this is an acquired taste. And okay, but yeah. So even and with the technology he uses, right? It's extremely potent. So, even with the best arcane tech and spell casting, you're bound to have a few clones that turn out not so great. So, since we run the Gramercy Occult Society, we have a contract with Santa. He deposits the defective clones here in the city, and that is SantaCon.
Like,
So all those
seeing
college
old
kids.
versions of Santa every year.
Okay, yeah, so Santa is a term, Henry. It's a title. I'm
Have
sure
you
you've
ever seen that
I'm
one
sure you've heard of
Christmas movie?
I'm sure you've heard of Saint Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the first Santa, right? The first like quote unquote Santa. Since then, whenever the time comes, the mantle is passed on to another person. He considers, like, not he, but the current Santa considers worthy to be the next Santa. Saint Nicholas was an incredibly powerful and extremely gifted sorcerer who invented the original Silent Night incarnation, right? That being said, it's been modified a few times to affect adults and stuff now. Yeah, that's Santa. The current Santa isn't Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas has been dead for a long time. That would be obnoxious.
Uh-huh.
You following, Henry? You good,
He
man?
gives another uh-huh, but it's while he's taking a drink, like a
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So who's
Alright.
current Santa?
The current Santa, his name is William. He's his name is William Claus. He's okay. I mean, he cares for children very, very deeply, and you know, he does his duties very well.
And
It's just like
how does one become Santa again?
you just need to be chosen by the current Santa.
Huh. This is it. Henry, he mumbles to himself, Henry, this is your big chance.
Henry Claus.
All right, I'm glad we had this. I'm done being high now, so I'm gonna go home. And she immediately gets up, tries to leave.
The door is gone. The literal, like, once it closes from the inside, the door vanishes. So it's just like, there's only one room and you're in it, and then it's just all around you is bookcases. So it's like, we should give her a moment.
Well, and then she just starts pulling books, assuming that's gonna work.
It's just like it's like the history of fairies, like it's like the history of fairy beast slaying 101, like the anatomy of like a silver fang. Like it's just like it is like books truly from the fantasy section.
She
Like,
actually pulls.
one of
she
them
gets,
one of them is literally the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like it's literally
like,
the
okay,
Chronicles
she's
of
like,
Narnia.
That seems familiar. Keeps grabbing it. She's like pulling books, and as she pulls them, she gets more and more angry. She's like, "Where's the fucking? Where's the?" She's like turning. I guess you could say.
You fully you
Rage.
literally hear a you tear out of your shoes, your calves burst the back of your pants. You grow a little bit like bulkier, like you're lean, so you're not like a giant full werewolf. You're just very lean, but you're definitely standing on hind legs. Fangs grow, like your two canines are visibly sticking out of your mouth.
She immediately whips her head back at Alejandro. She's like, "Where's the fucking door?"
He goes, "Skinwalker, huh? What does he goes. He turns to down to us and he goes, "I did not expect that one." And she goes, "Neither did I." And like they're not phased at all. Like you're like you're angry, and they're just like, "I never really expected that." Like I was thinking more. I was
charge
thinking
immediately.
to Alejandro.
Yep.
You charge Alejandro. You see that he just goes, "I was just thinking." Hold on. He turns. His ring glows. A giant like blue like force field pops up, and it's like hitting a cement wall. It's ping.
I'm just like laughing my ass in the corner.
There is a moment where it hits a full like propulsion of energy, like gives you backlash, and you just are skating across the ground.
Immediately, she kind of recedes back to her like more humanoid form, and she's just crying. She's just like, I wanna
she
go
can switch.
home.
Was not expecting that.
He goes, neither did I. He's like, even you, it's like you're one or the other, like, but you're not both at the same time. You like, it's strange.
I have a place I need to be. I have a brother I need to get home to. Please just let me go. I don't want to be in this damn junkie raid anymore.
Alejandro walks over to you, and again, he's this super loving grandfather kind of guy. He leans down, like he has a cane, so he like leans down as far as he can, and he goes, I will make a deal with you. I know what you're hearing is a lot. So let us explain everything and what's happening to each of you. Not just you, but each of you, everybody. If it is something you do not wish to be a part of, we have means of making you forget.
I mean, there's no door, so I don't really have a choice.
That is fair.
Don't make me to forget.
She says,
I have a no
he goes,
goal.
he goes, and even if you don't agree, I will respect your decisions. And he gets up, heads back to Esther, and she goes, okay. Where were we? Santa's real, clones himself, makes clones.
Esther,
Yeah.
not to interrupt this, it's not. Santa might have been hit, so I kind of need a little bit of help, and I think the corpse is becoming a little bit more of a mess in gestures to it.
She looks at it and she goes, oh, that's disgusting.
That's Dasher, by the way.
Oh, I liked that one.
Hey,
Oh,
he had my
man.
money. Blitzen's probably dead. No gambling for me this year.
Rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think this through. Okay, so Santa clones himself thousands of times, bit by a Santa. We have any questions on the Santa clones, by the way, before we start to really hammer at this?
Like,
I mean, it's kind of off topic from the Santa Claus business, but like, where exactly do we fit into this whole Santa Claus mess? You know?
You see that Alejandro steps forward and he goes, that I can answer. He looks back at Charlie one last time. He goes, each of you has been lucky enough to be awakened into the unsleeping city.
What now?
There is a world behind the world. New York is a bountiful well of magic. In this realm, the city that never sleeps, the dream realm, and the waking world, where you are from, all commingle, intertwine, and
That's not a word.
in some places become one. I do not know why it has happened, but we will find out in due time. I do not know why each of you were chosen to be awakened, but we will find out in due time. But you each now walk in the realm of the unsleeping city, so do yourselves a favor. And get your shit together, or it's going to be a bad look.
Yeah.
I make eye contact with him while
We're tired of putting people down. Congratulations, all of you are wizards. You're a wizard, Harry. Claps his hands.
You're a Harry, that's funny.
while he was like saying that, I was polishing off this bottle.
We need to look good for our people.
Like it was done. Like I wiped my mouth, twist the jar back. Thanks.
Yeah,
What do you do with the Santas? Do you kill them or do you eat them or something? What do you do with them?
that's preposterous. Why would we eat Santas?
They ate me!
Okay, well, typically they just, wander around the city, and they'll usually be pretty harmless.
Yeah!
most of
Seems a lot like it.
most
You
of
see
them.
this?
Yeah. Well, look, most of them, have a hard time wandering around because, again, they're defective clones in one way or another. So it's our job, depending on who you ask, to either round them all up and keep them, in which they'll die after about a week, or you can, incinerate them. Yeah, Santa Claus he cares very deeply for the children of the world, so much that he voluntarily clones himself millions and millions of times, the ethics of which are alarming, I won't lie.
Oh, don't tell him about the elves. Then you'll see alarming ethics. He chuckles to himself.
Yeah.
This
Elves.
man,
Like
breaks
Lord
into
of the Ring
thousands of
elves
homes.
or like Santa elves.
and we're still talking about ethics.
Well, the clones do. Santa usually stays at the... He's usually in a Central Park. He has a ritual that he does to put all the kids to sleep. And it puts...
What?
It's a... You don't really believe that kids can just sleep through somebody going into their house, do you?
He's. Oh my god.
Santa has an
I have a
incantation.
13-year-old brother. I can't. He's gonna. Oh god.
Santa has a ritual called the 12 Days of Christmas. It is not just a song. It was originally called the Silent Night Hex, that puts all kids asleep. And recently, within the last couple hundred years, this spell has been modified to do a mind-alterating spell to make adults believe that they are buying presents for their children.
But it spends their actual money.
No, usually the money is spent actually on something else. Like, the parents spend something else on their money. We just change what they think they spent the money on.
Why do they go through all this trouble?
We protect a world of magic and mysticism. We need to be as inconspicuous as possible, no matter how many layers that takes. Also, this is Santa we're talking about, and he's the most anal person I've ever met.
Facts.
I can think of so many different ways you could have not said it like that.
True.
And this man breaks into children's homes, puts them to sleep forcefully, and it's apparently very anal.
Well,
I don't like this
well,
guy.
Well, he doesn't physically interact with the kids. It's a
How do I know this?
It'd be like
How do we know?
It'd be
They're
like-
asleep, aren't they?
it'd be like this.
How do we know Santa's not a fucking pervert?
I guess
Depends on the Santa.
we
A
don't.
couple years back.
There was that one.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
He only lasted about a day. He didn't even get to deliver presents. He was like preactively going out and like
I didn't
scouting.
deliver
He
any
said,
presents.
Expect me to not say anything
I
about
think
this
the-
to
It
anyone.
keeps on giving.
well,
Yeah.
well,
I think
there
the
are.
fairies
Listen,
do something
before there
about
weren't any
that.
guidelines on how to be Santa for a while. Like there weren't guidelines for a long time. It was just kind of like, hey, you got a day to deliver presents. Figure it out, And we've come a long way since then.
Yeah, that's how the treaty started to pop up.
Yeah. But you see that Alejandro, like you two are like having a real intense conversation. Alejandro comes over and he goes, "There is something I forgot to ask you. You're clearly having a very severe reaction to the Umbral Arcana. And I know that doesn't mean a lot to you. But it should. Have you, and I will say this again, do you feel any different since your awakening? Have you seen anything? Has anything, I don't know. You're the first skinwalker we've seen.
I mean, I thought that this regular at my club drugged me. I went through the 7 layers of hell. I went through some
You see
Alice
this-
in Wonderland shit.
Wait,
you
I
went
fucking
through
fell down a
hell?
rabbit hole for 2 hours.
7 layers. She goes, could be. Yeah.
It was absolutely dreadful. I mean, I saw so many things.
Like what?
Oh, by the way, Henry, Tony, hell's real. Also heaven and
It was
angels
like-
and demons.
It was like all the stuff like you shouldn't believe in. You know, unicorns and fairies and
Unicorns.
pixies and
Unicorns are in hell.
and
No, unicorns are
depends
not.
on the
they're-
day.
You go. The unicorns are not in hell, but they are in Nod. Did you?
So you're telling me just like everything that's ever been imagined exists?
Yes, and we maintain the Umbrella Arcana, which is a blanket essentially that we put over New York City to stop them from seeing the magic that's around them at all times. We make it so that you perceive it as a normal, everyday, strange occurrence.
So what about like Jedi's?
I'm sorry.
I laugh.
I do not. What is it? You see that because Alejandro's 98, and he's just like, I do not know what is it. She goes, it was a movie. He goes, it is a film. What was in this film? She goes, yeah, it's not important. Do you see what you did? Like,
Space wizards.
she goes, okay, so you somehow peered into Nod. Insane. Okay. And you saw unicorns and stuff. Did they speak to you? Did they tell you something? Like what?
I mean, to be absolutely honest with you, I don't truly remember. It's kind of a blur. I genuinely thought I was on some kind of acid or like mushrooms or like maybe I just got hit too hard on my last fight. I'm not sure. But
With your permission, I would like to try something.
what?
Huh?
On
Yes.
you.
I don't. What is it?
I am an arch wizard. I am able to do a variety of spells and spellcasting. One of these spells allows me to take a memory from you. If you truly have been there, you may just be unable to remember it currently, and it may lie somewhere deep within your subconscious. It will take small increments of seconds, but we can pull it from you, and you can essentially relive what it is, and we would see in real time what it was.
So I have to relive that?
We can skip the parts or whatever you believe is the most important. Any messages or perhaps that were left. If you truly went through Nod, that means that there is a very serious problem.
If I do this, will you give me the damn door?
Yes, we will give you the door.
I suppose. I guess. It's the only way it's gonna get me home.
Okay, Esther, and you see that Esther is already walking up next to you. She's like poured something into a cup, like a drink into a cup. She goes, drink this, please.
Is this lace too?
No.
Don't mind if I do.
She grabs it. Not you! I
Oh.
want to go home.
It full burns.
Oh.
It does not taste good. It full burns.
Fucking amateur.
What the? What?
She
Why
goes,
is it
you see,
spicy?
you
Have
see,
seen that?
you see that she's like air drying, like she's like shaking the cup and air drying it. She goes, unicorn blood. And all of a sudden it is just very much like, it's like, what?
Wee.
Boom.
Wee.
And you very quickly, as if like watching a movie and fast forward, find yourself falling through the city with the night sky and whatnot. The sky ripping apart, the stars, the golden doorway that opens, the voice that says, start spreading the news.
Yeah, he starts singing.
You also remember that there was a face that appeared.
Yeah, a baby.
A baby's
A weird
face.
little baby.
That did say something to you.
I don't remember. I was busy looking
You-
at the weird, creepy little baby face.
You see, like, what you're yelling at right now, while you're like, I don't remember, it was blah, blah. You're yelling, like, your vision is the baby's face that you're yelling at, and it just says, I'm sorry, there's no time. Heed the words of Lazarus before it's too late.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you are
I remember.
You're just like, and you fully throw up on the ground.
Ew.
It is
rainbow.
It's rainbow and like bright pink hued. There are flowers and like glitter and like rainbows growing out of it. You see that Esther, like as you throw up, Esther's standing like next to you as you do it. She like casts a spell. It fully becomes like a ball of goo, goes back into the jar that she gave you, that she poured the drink out of and gave to you.
That's exactly my face.
She goes, he goes, heed the words of Lazarus. What the hell? She goes, what the hell was it? Oh, by the way, all of you totally saw that whole thing. That whole thing that I described in the beginning when we introduced Charlie, that whole thing. You guys have all just watched that.
Can I roll a history check on what the hell is Lazarus?
Sure.
Because that feels like that sounds like end of the world.
She goes, you see that she takes the lot of water that Henry didn't drink, that she tried to give him before, and she just hands you the glass of water.
I hate you.
15.
15? Lazarus is a lot of things. So, I'm going to say with a 15, you really... there was no other context that it gave you. It was just said, heed the words of Lazarus. So now you kind of have to think of like what Lazarus they could be referring to. You know what I mean? Because there's a Lazarus in the Bible.
Yeah.
Do you think
Could
she's
be
referring to the guy in the Bible?
Lazarus.
The baby was a girl.
The baby was a boy.
What the fuck?
It was like actually, it's weird. It's
a non-binary baby.
It seemed like it was only a head. So
what is wrong with my brain?
I don't think it's your brain.
I don't like it.
You see that Alejandro and Esther start to like have a sidebar conversation, and they say, she goes, but can you think yeah, I do believe it, but if that's true, then that would mean that yes, I understand.
Can I roll a perception?
Sure.
With advantage because I have wolf ears?
Do you have keen sense?
I do.
Then yes.
Oh, wait, that's the thing I already have?
Well, if you have keen sense, then yeah.
I remember reading it.
Is that something
keen
that's
senses,
on all the
proficiency
time?
With a perception skill. God, I was just gonna...
Keen senses also gives you advantage on the perception skill if you're already proficient in it.
Damn. Oh, advantage. I was like, that's a shitty roll. That's better. What did I just say? Perception?
Perception.
22.
Jesus. You see that it starts off with Esther says, Did you see that baby? Alana goes, yes, but I do not think that was an ordinary baby. But
It was great.
But you say if she was able to pierce the veil of Nod, that means that the baby was Nod. He goes, the denizen of the dreaming. But that would mean, she goes, is there another fox? Did they awaken another fox? And he goes, I do not know. But first, and he turns around and he goes, I made you a promise. And that I am saddened that this is what you've chosen. You see that he lifts up,
is anyone gonna be hurt if we don't do whatever it is we're supposed to do here?
He says, it is difficult to say, as if right now there is no challenges. There is nothing that we face other than protecting the Arcana. So, I'm going to be honest with you. There is a low chance that somebody will be hurt. As if there is no... And you see that as he's explaining it to you, a doorway opens in the bookcase, like a arcane doorway. Two twin girls pop out of it, like falling head over heels, two twin girls, who are very clearly Alejandro's, like, granddaughters. They're maybe, like, 17. And you see that he goes, there is a very low... He goes, Anna, Amelia, what is wrong? They're very clearly injured, like sliced up. You see that some of them, like one of them has like what looks to be like kind of like frostbite, but that frostbite is that same kind of peppermint color. And she said, they go, Grandpa, holy shit, we were just out patrolling and there's something wrong. There's something so wrong. These Santa Claus clothes they're so dangerous. She's like, what? They're not normal. Like, and you know, a bunch of them just kept coming. Like, there's never been this many wrong before. There's never been this many. We think they're coming from Times Square, but man, she's like, they're not just some drunk college kid this time. And you see that Alejandro goes, "Oh, okay, Anna, Amelia, get to safety, please. Go, hold on." You see that, all these little, like, you see that he puts a finger to, like, one of his eyes, like, taps the side of his, like, temple. His eye goes golden, like a golden light, and it beams out what looks to be like a map of the entirety of New York City. Just, like, from his eye, like a projector. And you see that, you know, these cars of light appear and stuff like that, drawing this insane subway map from in front of Alejandro, and he pushes it, and it zooms in on, like, an overview, not, like, of the buildings and stuff, kind of, like looking at a map.
Charlie is, like,
Of-
leaning in towards Smoke, and she's like, do you fucking see this technology? It's kind of cool.
If you're standing next to Smoke, he looks kinda. No, he visibly looks frustrated, and he's just under his breath. And it's just like, newbie bullshit. Fuck! I knew something was wrong with Santa, and I'm stuck here doing this shit.
She, like, leans away, like, oops, shouldn't have talked to that one.
Yeah, so it's just like looking at a map of Times Square. And he goes, "All right." He takes a book. He literally like puts his hand out, a whole shelf, whoosh, swings, like, goes past him, stops on a dime. He pulls a book out, tucks it under. It goes back in. He goes, "All right, I am going to see what's going on. They are very proficient wizards. If my granddaughters are in trouble, that means that things have gotten very, very bad." You see that he turns to you, Charlie. He goes, "I will study this, but as I have said before, I respect your decision making." He points his finger towards where the door was. Shing! The door fully reappears in like a magical glint. He turns and he goes, "The rest of you, I beg of you, please." And he even turns to you, Smoke, and he goes, "I know I am asking a lot of the from someone of the mob, but these are my granddaughters. I do not know who else to turn to. If you all could make your way to Times Square as soon as you can, something is happening and it needs to be stopped. And as you are the only protectors that we have, please, I beg of you." He turns, walks through a bookcase, fully disappears, and it is just you guys with it is just you guys and Esther in the library. Esther turns to all of you except for you, Charlie. She goes, "Okay." She points at the big door. It opens. The exit is now open. She goes, "Okay, this is crazy, Diego. I know you haven't had a whole lot of training for this, but this is your first gig. We could really use the help of the rest of you."
I'm in.
It's already my job, so I might as well sit through it to the end.
What's in it for me?
What do you want? We're pretty much a giant, society of books, but whatever we can help you with, we can. We will.
I want full access to every book, and I'm in.
I mean, okay. You're pretty much just like right off the gate a member of the Gramercy Occult Society, which is like a right of yours anyway. So, but if that's what
Good job, you joined the cult.
100%. Cool. She turns to you, Henry, and she goes, "Please?"
I guess since I really have nothing else going on in my life besides drinking,
You should totally ask for more magic booze.
but like, we could talk about this whole Henry Claus thing later, though.
If we see Santa, you actually get the chance that he can choose you after he dies.
Yeah.
Are we really
Yeah,
talking? She goes, "Times Square is under attack by apparently a army of mutant clones, and we're talking about murdering Santa Claus right now. Is that what's happening?
Hey, I brought
No,
Dead
no,
Dasher
no,
on your
no.
doorstep, and you did nothing. So
That's
I
not
think
what
we
I
have time to
wanted.
talk.
She goes,
I was-
I am not touching that thing. And it is just a heap of meat now.
Ew.
The only thing
Hey,
left are the antlers.
Wait, so even the worms are gone?
Oh no, the worms are there, and they're currently like starting to like limp away from the scene. She goes, don't worry, I've got the worms. We will study them. In the meantime, you need to go. We're running out of time.
Fuck it, let's go.
Good. You see that she turns, she picks up like a steel baseball bat. You see it fully begins to glow. She points it. It opens up a like an arcane doorway. She goes, all right, in you go.
Walk to the doorway.
All right.
I can't believe what I got myself
I'm a-
into.
I'm gonna take like a little bit of like a running start and just like jump through the doorway.
So each of you walks through. The doorway closes.
Well, before it closes, Charlie would definitely hesitantly kind of watch. She'd be like, "Oh my god!" Runs through.
You head through the portal. Each of you is right outside of the library, unfortunately, like strangely enough. Like on the sidewalk, you're standing at a bus station, and you see that you're standing at a bus station, and a bus pulls up. You see that a woman who is this ethereal being, who has no lower half of her body, it just fades into like a pinch, and she's like in a city bus driver's uniform. She stops at your stop, and then and opens the bus doors. She gives you a very kind smile. She goes, "Well, hey there, guys. Where are you headed?"
Times Square.
ma'am.
She goes, "Downtown? Now, that isn't on my way to it's not on my route at all. That's like the complete opposite direct." Stops mid-sentence, like kind of like looks at your group. Not like, she's not like reading you. Almost like literally somebody hit the pause button while she was speaking. She goes, "Oh, you know what? My route was changed this morning. I'd be doing like the wrong route if I was doing my old route. That's like straight on the way. Hop on in, gang."
Fantastic.
You guys head on the bus. You see that while you're driving, there is traffic, but all of a sudden the traffic fully parts like the Red Sea, and like there is no like there. It's almost like as you guys drive, the car in front of you happens to need to turn to the right or to the left. So it's just like
All I can think of is the Harry Potter bus.
It's just like a lot of conveniences. It's like, oh, this is my right-hand turn. I need to go this way. Oh, this is a bus lane only. So, like, it's just the bus in this lane. Or, oh, these guys got pulled over by a cop, and now they're back on the other side. It's just like a lot of conveniences.
The New
Honey,
York,
why
the
the
New
long
York transportation
faces?
system, the best in the world.
I was low key gonna question that we were taking the bus, and then all this shit happened, and I'm not questioning it anymore.
You guys arrive at Times Square. You see Times Square has been completely overrun by large strands of like webbing everywhere. And in the very center of the road is a massive like silk white, and it's humming like with a light on the inside, a massive silk chrysalis, like tens of feet into the air, tens of feet wide, that is just sitting there, something gestating inside. And just like these mutant Santas with large chitinous like armors on them, pieces of their body are like ripped that split into blades. These like very insectoid teeth with like egg sacs on their backs and stuff. And you see each of them as you pull up. She opens the door and she goes, "Wow, things have gotten really crazy down here since the last time I was here." You guys hop off the bus. She pulls away, and you just hear like they all begin to turn and look at you. And that's what we're gonna pick up for next week.
All right.
Ugh.
I did not like the bug noises.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your adventure. This has been your Adventurer's Guide to Dungeoneering. And always remember, could always be worse. Thank you for tuning in. See you next Sunday. Bye.
Yes.